What is up, everybody? Welcome. We got started a little bit late today. I wanted to get that video out before going live. So if you guys want like a more concise look into what I think about Ignore Pain coming back, take a look at that video. Yeah, I've been messing around with this new Ignore Pain. New ability Ignore Pain. They basically just nerfed the hell out of Ignore Pain and gave it back to us. They said you're not allowed to have Ignore Pain how it is now, so let's nerf the hell out of it, and then you can have it back. Let me head on over to where the island guy is as well, just in case we're gonna jump into some islands while people come on in to the chat, while people come into the live stream. But Ignore Pain is back. Let's have a look. So now, instead of scaling with the amount of rage, it's a 40 rage cost. Ignore Pain is back, PogChamp. That's what I thought too. So Crom tweeted at me last night, and he said, please tell me you're gonna be jumping in and taking a look at all of this. And I said, yeah, sure, let me log on. So I hopped on, looked at this Ignore Pain, and yeah, it's not that great. So they basically took the Ignore Pain that's in live, nerfed it, and gave it back to us. So it's a 40 rage cost, which is fine. In live it was 20 to 60, but if they want to have more control over it, that's okay. It's on the global cooldown, which sucks, and it only scales up to what was it, like 500% of our attack power. So I have, where can I see my total attack power? I don't even think I can see my total attack power in this scale. No, I can't. Mastery gives me a little bit of attack power, but yeah, I can't even see it. So 500% of my total attack power goes to Ignore Pain. So I mean, that would make my Ignore Pains go down to 14k. So even my self buff kind of helps. So my total HP right now at 120 in heroic level gear. Heroic dungeon is 325, so I have heroic level gear is 15k, which is less than 10% of my max HP pool. What's up, Ball? And what's up, Demon Hunter? How you guys doing? Cheers to you guys. Cheers. Drinking our coffee today. So Ignore Pain gives me a bubble that's less than 10% of my HP. It's more about between like 7 to 8%. But this also changes if I have fortified, or I mean power word fortitude, if I run indomitable, which I am right now. So, you know, 7 to 8% is about the area that Ignore Pain is going to be doing. But it's on the global cooldown. That's what's bad about it. That means that in order for me to get it up and running, I need to use the global cooldown. Now, shield block is still off of the global cooldown, but bolster, what is that noise? Bolster is still on the global cooldown. So we still have the ability bolster here. We still have the ability bolster here, but if I run bolster and I now have the new Ignore Pain, I'm gonna have to use 2 different cooldowns for 2 different abilities that are gonna be mitigating a little bit of damage. Bolster mitigates about 5.7, I think is what it does right now according to my item level. Now it's gonna scale with item, but armor has diminishing returns, and we're gonna be taking more and more damage, so it's gonna be absorbing between 5 to 6% of incoming damage. So this talent point does about 5 to 6%. Ignore Pain does about 8 or 9%, about 8% of our total HP. So Ignore Pain does a little bit more than Bolster does. But since each one of these has a global cooldown, or is on the global cooldown. In order for me to get all these up and running, I need to invest all these global cooldowns. So I have charge on the global. I need rage in order to use these abilities. And so Shield Slam and Thunderclap, which help me generate rage, are also on the global cooldown. So the big thing is, how can I use all of these abilities all at the same time that are all on the global cooldown? And the simple answer is you can't. You can't. It just doesn't feel good, this being on the global cooldown. Punish also got nerfed, by the way. Those of you guys who remember, it used to do, every time you Shield Slam, damage done against you was reduced by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. Now it's just a flat 3%. So Punish as an ability wasn't even strong. I wasn't picking it up, but even then it got nerfed, and now it's just like, there's no use. There's no need for you to not pick up Impending Victory at this point. Now we're still missing that one talent point here. Never Surrender still does block. There was, oh, Vengeance. Vengeance weaves with Ignore Pain now, which it's perfectly fine. It's gonna, you know, help us with weaving this Ignore Pain and Revenge. So this might be worth our time to actually try out. So let's jump into a heroic dungeon and give this all a shot. Let me actually run Vengeance. Right now also Ignore Pain weak auras aren't working. Not sure why, but I tried importing. It wasn't working. A cool new thing is that we can queue up for heroics just really easily. So I don't need to go through like the LFG, wait for people to drop in there, and just queue up for it. We'll be good. So I'm not going to be running Bolster for this first dungeon, just so that I can show you guys that even without running Bolster, my global cooldowns are just terrible. Mythic raid testing is in 1 hour, and I won't be joining. I really want to just keep looking at Prot Warriors right now. Yeah, so I won't be joining that. The first boss that they're doing is Zek Boss, which is the guy that spawns 1 million ads. Yeah, that's the guy that spawns 1 million ads. What's up, Steel? And by the way, guys, I appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you guys want to see a more concise version of my argument with this new Ignore Pain, whether it's good, it's bad, what I think can really fix it, because it's better than Bolster, but it's not good. I just put up a new video right before this went live, right before we went live here, on all of that, all of those new Ignore Pain changes. And also, just as a side note, this new mount here with this long neck guy, he is going to be a purchasable mount in BfA, but he's going to cost 5 million gold. So the new sync is going to be this mount. So I need to start saving up all my gold. I want one of those guys. Those were your thoughts for the most part. Yeah, I mean, last night I logged on really quick. I did a few dungeons, and I just overall the feel of Ignore Pain, and it just started feeling bad. So then I did the calculations on it, and it's point for point, it's better than Bolster. But that doesn't. Oh, look, this guy's got the new mount. Oh man. What? That's the new mount. That is awesome. 5 million gold there. I think it's worth it. And then you roll a Taran, you throw on an elixir of giant growth. Nothing can ever get past you. Yeah, it's a lot smaller than I thought. That was also a Nightborn, I believe. Okay. So, let's see this new Ignore Pain. Look at that. Aggro's bouncing around. I haven't gotten the Thunderclap off because I used my global cooldown to get that Ignore Pain up. Ignore Pain is such a heavy cost, I can't get the second cast of it off. Here it is, second cast. Oh man. Alright, let's go back here. Take this guy. I do have a lot of errors that are coming through with the new week or with Ignore Pain, because for some reason stack size isn't properly showing for the new Ignore Pain. Okay, so for this guy, shouldn't need to worry too much about all the mitigations as long as I have something up. Towley bought them out. Nice. What talents am I running right now? I'm running Impending Victory and Indomitable. Because if you try to run Bolster and Ignore Pain up, you're gonna go crazy. I'll tell you that really quickly right now. I did one dungeon where I was running both of them, and I tried to maintain really good uptime on both Bolster and Ignore Pain and Shield Block, and there's just... First of all, there's not enough rage to go around. All of our rage generation has been nerfed. Look at that. I keep hitting my Ignore Pain button, and it's like... It feels so terrible being on the global. Oh, the new mount has a Tortoling guy who does repairs. That's actually pretty cool. And Ignore Pain, because it's on the global. Another bad thing about Ignore Pain is if you do happen to at any point have like extra rage, it doesn't really stack up well. It only stacks an extra 30% from your original value. Yay, Ignore Pain? No, Epic. It's really not that great. It's really not great. Oh, I didn't know if I buffed everyone. It's on the biggest issue that Ignore Pain has is it's on the global cooldown. Now, I also don't think it's scaling enough. I think it's like really not doing much in terms of scaling with our attack power. But if they change off the global, then maybe we can properly see how it's supposed to be performing. I think we should still get a lot of rage generation back, but still doesn't feel good. Point for point, it's a lot stronger than our other abilities, but that doesn't really... They would glitch out. It doesn't really say much when it's a better ability. Melee first? Okay, guys, you have to kill the melee guy first. What's up, nerds? How you doing, man? Alright, there's our Ignore Pain up. Now my shield block fell off. I don't have enough rage for that. Where's the shield block? There it is. Come on. Okay. And then gotta get Ignore Pain up. Use global. Okay. There it is. So random Lakes of Tears have started to pop up everywhere from Prot Warriors for some reason. Nerds. Nerds, I started watching, or I finally watched Infinity War last night, and I could just, all I could imagine was Ian being Thanos. That's it. That's all I could imagine the whole time. I came back from the movie, there was a new build, I was like, let me check it out, and it was just like, why? Why? Did something good happen? No, nerds, something bad happened. They gave us back Ignore Pain, so it feels like, yes, we have Ignore Pain back. But wait, they didn't give us back Ignore Pain how it is. They gave us back a really, really nerfed version of Ignore Pain. They took Ignore Pain from live, nerfed it by 2,300% scaling. So now every Ignore Pain is way smaller. They put it on the global cooldown, and then they gave it back to us. That's not the same spell. What tanks feels the best and most complete? I would say Prot Paladins feel really good for a tanking class. Unless you if you wanna roll Druid again, Druids still feel really good. Druids, Paladins feel like really, really, really solid, and I would argue that Demon Hunters feel really fun, but that's the thing, you have to like really be into their rotation and really know how to handle their rotation in order for that to be fun. They require a few extra steps, but if you just want like a simple good tank, Druid Paladin for the moment. Paladins have like all the little things that warriors don't, guys. They have like a really good self-heal. They have very good active mitigation that they can activate at any time. Has no rage requirement. They have the ability to block spells, so their spell mitigation is really good. They have good utility, good cooldowns. They are the shield tank I want to grow up to be one day. You'd have shield block on the global rather than IP. I agree. I agree. I think I'd much rather deal with that, but I don't think that... why are warriors the only class right now that have to deal with global cooldown as part of our core mitigation abilities? Like, I think everyone right now can agree that ignore pain is part of our core mitigation. Why are we the only class with that core mitigation on the global? Only one. Everybody else, arguably Death Knights do, because of the way that Death Strike works, by giving them active mitigation right after they Death Strike, so they would be the only other ones. I don't want to pull that yet. Why are we pulling? Nice, it's just a heroic dungeon. Oh, we pulled the other group too? Nice. Mr. Hezekiah says, I don't feel so good. That's how it feels, man. I'm getting tired of tweeting at Ian too. I tweet at him all the time now. If Prot Warriors get ignore pain, DKs deserve to have the rogue sprint ability. Well, DKs did get some love in that department in this expansion by having the inability of getting snared. So instead of getting a buff on speed, they just got a buff on inability of being snared. So there's that. What's up, Jan? How you doing, man? Most people like the current Demon Hunter. Yeah, I like it. The current Demon Hunter is good. I think the only thing that's kind of weird is the fact that if you spec into Fracture, it replaces Shear. So with the current Demon Hunter, every now and then you run out of stacks of Fracture, and so it feels kind of weird. Somebody asked, why are you guys pulling all the trash? And somebody else responded with, it's good XP. But this is heroic. We're all max level. What? Are you giving up on Warriors at BfA if nothing changes? For right now, no, but they might not be my main tanking class. So let's say they launch exactly like this tomorrow with this version of Ignore Pain, this scaling of Ignore Pain, global cooldowns exactly the same that it is now. I am going to be leveling up two tanking classes to 120, probably Warriors and Demon Hunters. And my Warrior will not be my main to raid with. If this goes live right now, exactly how it is right now, then I won't be raiding on my Warrior. I'll be raiding on my Demon Hunter. So I'll still have my Warrior, and I'll hope that in a later patch they'll change things, but won't be my main, because this is just an uphill battle in every encounter. Like every little fight you have, it's an uphill battle to either stay alive or to mitigate. And the terrible part about it is I like doing Mythic Plus. I like progression rating. So if I'm talking about playing this Warrior on heroic raids, doesn't feel like it's going to be able to compete. And then on Mythic Plus, when it's skittish week, what am I going to use my globals on? If I don't use my globals on Ignore Pain or Bolster, then I have to use them on attacking, which means I can't use them on defensives. Like there's no in between. So right now when it comes to like Mythic Plus and stuff, it seems like things won't be in a good situation. So unfortunately, if they launch like this, which is why like I'm creating all these videos and trying to remain positive with the warrior changes by offering feedback at the end of every video. Like I'm saying, this is what I feel can fix what the issue is here. I'm detailing the issue just in case you know, the fix that I gave isn't the proper one. So I'm trying to give my feedback and trying to let Blizzard know exactly how warriors are feeling. So hopefully something changes before warriors go live. But yeah, if they don't, it just, this feels really bad and really clunky. Ignore Pain is back. Yes, Salty Salt. Ignore Pain is back, but it costs 40 rage. There is no scaling. And currently live in Legion, Ignore Pain does 2800% of our attack power as an absorb, and currently in BfA, Ignore Pain only does 500. So they took Ignore Pain, they nerfed it by 2300%, and they put it on the global cooldown, and yeah, that's how they gave it back to us. So a lot of changes, a lot of mostly nerfs. But it is back. They said they didn't want it to be back. So while Ignore Pain in current live Legion does about, I don't know, I'd say about 30% of your HP per bubble, this does about 8% per bubble. Oh no! That hits everyone in an AoE round, no matter where you are. We just gotta get these people out. Thanks to every idiot that said Ignore Pain was overpowered. Oh man, Ignore Pain. Well, this is what I agree with. Ignore Pain is not the proper way of tanking. For a tank to just bubble himself all the time, it just seems kind of weird. For a tank who uses rage as a mechanic to be able to eat that rage and dampen the incoming damage, that's cool. But like as a bubble, it's kind of a weird mechanic. As a warrior, like being the top of the healing meters, it's weird. Now, did it work? Yes, because we at least weren't completely broken, and we at least had our spot. But warriors were in no tier were warriors overpowered. Like you never saw like everyone in Method say, "Hey guys, we all need to roll protection warriors. Look at how good they are." That wasn't even on anyone's mind. So the fact that warriors have been nerfed this much just boggles my mind. We were nowhere near the top. Why? Why? Druids got their nerfs in BfA, but rightly so. Druids were soloing Mythic bosses on progression. Like, I get it. No tank should be able to solo Mythic tank Gul'dan on progression. Why is that guy pulling? That's the guy who said he wants XP. Should I let him get his XP? I don't know why that guy's just running into everything. Deathstrike is more of a Hand of the Protector. Yes, but when we talk about like having active mitigation checks like we do have in some dungeons, there is a small like buff applied after a Deathstrike for like 3 or 4 seconds, and that is a Death Knight's active mitigation check. So they need to use a Deathstrike before active mitigation can come up because of the way that it works, and it's really weird, and I don't agree with it. That one also feels really clunky. But yeah, that's why I brought up the DK one, because even the Death Knight one feels kind of clunky. You need to use a global cooldown and have a certain amount of runic power saved up before you can clear the active mitigation check. So that was the only other one that I can think of in terms of a class having something that feels really weird like that. This guy just keeps pulling, and he's from a guild called Bug Hunters. So he's a bug hunter. Ignore Pain is back. Yeah, back. So currently, what is causing warriors to lag behind? Self-sustain or no? What's currently causing warriors to lag behind is the fact that we are the only class that gets multiple mitigators to perform well. Like, we have shield block, and that's fine. But shield block is very strong because it blocks all incoming attacks. So we can't have 100% uptime on shield block. So they nerf the charges of shield block, how often it comes up. So shield block, our active mitigation, isn't going to have really good uptime. Now, in order to make up for it, they give us other abilities in the form of bolster and now ignore pain that they gave us back. But these two abilities are on the global cooldown. So in order for us to feel normal, like a normal tank, mitigating proper amounts of damage, our mitigation in those normal times are on the global cooldown. So what's really slowing us down is the fact that our active mitigation requires our resource, and so does our normal mitigation requires our resource too. And both of these things are just... Our resource generators are also not up to par. They were nerfed. So in Legion, our resource generators generated a lot more rage. And now it's just kind of like we generate less rage, and we have a higher need for rage. What is my take on Mop Prot Warrior Shield Barrier? I didn't main tank for Mop, so I know how Shield Barrier worked. You could stack it, and it was just a big absorb, and that's not terrible. I think something that would really go a long way in helping is if Bolster got like a really nice bump up. So Iron Fur is a really good active mitigator, right? Iron Fur costs a certain amount of rage. You can stack it if you have extra rage, and it mitigates good incoming physical damage. It mitigates all incoming physical damage. So, if they made Bolster... this guy just keeps telling me that he's going to keep pulling no matter what. Yeah, so if they made Bolster a different version of Iron Fur, I'd be okay with that. So... right now, Bolster has a 6-second cooldown. It's on the global cooldown, and it can't stack. It only lasts 10 seconds. So if they made Bolster last 10 seconds, have no cooldown, and be off of the global cooldown, I think would be in a much better place, because then I would be able to make the choice whether I want one shield block or 2 stacks of Bolster instead, or 3 stacks of Bolster. If I have the rage coming in, if all of the damage coming in is completely destroying me and I'm getting a lot of rage from damage taken, then I can use that rage to then smooth out the rest of the damage that keeps coming in. So I think Bolster, if it had the ability to stack, if it had no cooldown and was off the global, I think Bolster would go a long way. We wouldn't have any self-healing, we wouldn't have any absorption, we wouldn't have any bubbles. They could take Ignore Pain and get rid of it. But if if Bolster could stack, we would have armor that would scale up really well, and we'd be able to mitigate a lot of that damage. We'd be able to, at certain points, start mitigating 60-70% of incoming physical damage, and it would go a long way in helping warriors. Rage problems, yeah, and that's the thing too. Rage has been nerfed in every way. So in current live Legion, we generate 20 rage when we charge and 20 rage when we shield slam, and we use shield slam a lot. Shield slam is our main form of generating rage. In BfA, they nerfed that rage generation by 25% on both of those abilities, and then we also have Devastator, which would generate 5 rage. Either if you picked it up, if you decided to pick it up as a talent point, it meant each one of your melees did 5 rage, and if you didn't pick it up as a talent point, then every extra global you wanted to invest generated 5 rage. But now That's not the case. Now Devastator generates no rage at all, and so our rage generation just got really nerfed, and now our active mitigation, it went up in rage cost. So yeah, there's a lot of changes that have happened to Prot Warriors. The large majority of them were very small nerfs, but they all added up to a class that feels very clunky. We generate weird amounts of rage that don't make sense with the abilities that we use. Our abilities are just really heavy. All of them are on the global cooldown. You pull it, you tank it time? Sometimes. I told him if he could stop pulling for me, and he said it was my understanding that warriors have a charge, leap, and a clap to be able to take rage from me. And it's like, when you decide to pull 3 or 4 mobs at the same time, way before me, way before I ever get anywhere, you can tank it. That's okay. Good suggestion. A cheaper bolstering lasting longer off the global cooldown would be quality of life. Yes. I think that would go a long way. Iron Fur is known to be really strong. I think Prot Warriors, if they don't want to give us an absorb because it doesn't fit class fantasy, I understand, and we're a giant warrior. I mean, we're giant plate warriors with a shield. It sounds really weird to have us have a self-heal. I completely agree with that. So then make us tanky, make us be able to mitigate that damage coming in. We don't necessarily need stagger or anything. Just let us bump up our armor whenever we can. If I'm look at this, I have 100 rage, but if at any moment I want to use that rage, I have to invest a global cooldown. So I can no longer output damage. I can no longer hit things with my shield. Like, I'm basically just a sitting tank, just spanking tank whenever I want to use any defensive ability. So bolster would be nice off the global, and the ability to stack, remove its cooldown, make it baseline. Don't make it so that I have to invest a talent point in order to just be a normal tank, because no other class has to invest talent points to just be a normal tank. Every other class has all of their mitigation built in, and then all of the talent points just offer them more. They offer them a different type of gameplay. So the fact that we are the only tanking class that has to feel, or that feels like we have to invest a talent point, feels bad. I don't understand why we're the only tanking class that has to invest that extra talent point. Talent points should be for different builds, but I don't think that having bolster not be part of our build is a good thing. An energy fragment forms nearby. Use it to energize the avatar. Nice! They're changing the mechanics of this dungeon. Look at that. This dungeon used to spawn adds really slow rate, and you would just slowly heal the guy up. Nice. And now we instantly get things here again. Huh. Changing it up, Blizz. This actually feels like more challenging of a boss. Rage from damage taken feels good. You get hard, you get more rage. Yes, they should bring it back. Rage from damage taken is still in the game. You get 2 rage for every 1% of your HP that you lose. At least I think that's what it was in Legion, and that's what it should be now. And then you also get 1 rage for every 5 seconds you're in combat. So all of those things feel nice. I had a quest here to pick up the thing, apparently. Your solution: combine bolster and IP, make the bubble larger, multiply it by 3 or 4%, or by 3 or 4 times. Make it give armor while bubble is up, so you have 1 global cooldown less and potentially more uptime, so more efficient rage consumption. That'll work too. That'll work too. I think the big issue here is, as Prot Warriors, as tank, both have to do offensive and defensive things. Like, and that's every tank, right? Every tank needs to hit things and be able to not get hit at the same time. So every single one of your tanking classes needs that. Now, not every tanking class has the problem where their globals are so impacted like we are. Oh, we automatically get the loot now? Whoa, I got 2 pieces of loot. What? I think I'm gonna disconnect right now. Oh, there it is. Let me do this. Nice, I got the epic achievement. And more main stats. So yeah, every single tank has that in them, right? They need to do damage, they need to mitigate damage at the exact same time. But the thing is, the large majority of the other tanks mitigate the large majority of their damage via their active mitigation ability, and that is normally off of the global cooldown. Now, so is ours, but ours is strong enough to where they increased the time on it. So here we go. We have shield block. It's 18-second recharge. It's 16 seconds because of the amount of haste my gear has, but it's 18 seconds baseline, and it only lasts 6 seconds. We get 2 charges. Like there's I think we would need like 50 haste, 50% haste and above in order to have a decent uptime. Last time I checked, when I was raid testing, my uptime on this was about 34% of the uptime. So we need something to fill the gaps. Now, to fill the gaps, they've given us bolster here, which we need to invest a talent point in, and I don't understand why they want this to be our new go-to ability. They want this to be our mitigator, but we have to invest a point in it. And now we have Ignore Pain, which only does about 8% of my HP, so investing a global cooldown into it is a very heavy cost to pay for 8% of my total HP pool. It mitigates 50% of the damage, so it's not even mitigating all of it or a substantial amount. It's 1 global cooldown for slowly taking in that 8% of damage over the course of what is probably going to be how long does this last? I want to say it lasts like 8 seconds. So over the course of like 4 seconds, because we are taking a lot of damage, this is going to get eaten up completely. 4 seconds is less than 3 global cooldowns. 4 seconds is like 2 and change. So we need to use this ability like every 3rd or 4th ability, but we don't generate enough rage for it. Our shield slam generates 15 rage. Our charge generates 15 rage. Our devastate doesn't generate any rage at all now. Devastate is like a glorified auto attack. It can fish for shield slams, and that's about it. Like 30% chance, but with the global cooldown change, it all feels really slow. Is it not worth using Ignore Pain with bolster then? No, Tom the Tank. And let me show you why. There's some mobs right up ahead, so let me go find like some random mobs. You'll be 3 global cooldowns in before you can hit a tank. Yeah. So let's say I pick up bolster. Here's bolster, right? In order for me to use bolster and Ignore Pain and shield block, I need 100 rage. Shield block is 30 now. It got nerfed down to 30. That's a good change. Bolster is 20. Ignore Pain is 40. That is actually, is that? Ignore Pain is 40. Shield block is 30. And then bolster is 20. So 90 rage. Sorry, 90 rage. I got that wrong. So here, let's jump in. Let me fish for a shield slam. I can use Ignore Pain right now. Okay, so let me use Ignore Pain. Let me shield slam again. There's a bolster. I haven't gotten shield block up. I haven't cleaved at all because revenge costs rage in order for me to be able to cleave. Let me do a bigger pull with just more mobs. Okay, let me get Ignore Pain up. I can't get bolster up yet. Here it is. I have bolster up now. And I was finally able to cleave once. If that was an actual dungeon, I would have lost threat. Okay, Ignore Pain and bolster are gone now. What do I have rage for? I have enough rage for Ignore Pain. I now have 12 rage. Let me get enough rage for an Ignore Pain now. Okay, I can bolster. I can't shield block. If you try to run Ignore Pain, bolster, and shield block up, you're gonna go crazy trying to have all 3 up at the same time. It's just, There's no way. Like, there's no conceivable way for you to do all of that. I had extra rage, so I'm gonna go into that, into a instant ignore pain. There it was for shield block. My ignore pain just fell off. I don't have enough rage. There it is. Now I do. Bolster is about to fall off. Bolster's gone. Let me get bolster up. Oh wait, my shield block has been down for a while. Let me try to get, but shield block needs to go up, and now my ignore pain is about to run out. Like, there's running all three will make you go insane trying to maintain all three up at the same time. If we had a lot more rage generation, maybe we could. Maybe we could. For right now, it won't work out. That's the biggest downfall is, in order for a prot warrior to feel like they're actually mitigating a lot of that damage, you need all three of those up. Bolster and ignore pain and shield block all have their places in our mitigation toolkit. The fact that they each incur the global cooldown is like, why am I being punished as a prot warrior for the lack of design? Why can't bolster just be baked into my class? So let me show you guys one other thing here. I can have both up. So this is the new defensive stance. It's called Vanguard. Vanguard increases my stamina by 30% and my armor by 40% of my strength. Now bolster does the same thing, increases armor by 40% of my strength. Instead of having this bolster talent point here, why can't it be passive? Bolster be passive, and it just makes that portion a little bit better. That means that Indomitable gives us 10% more HP, or a passive bolster gives us 5.7% more passive mitigation on physical abilities. So if bolster was passive or off the global, that could be fixed. I would love it if bolster was more passive rather than off the global, because it does cost a talent point. Now, if they want to maintain bolster how it is, we shouldn't be spending a talent point on it, and it should be off the global. But if we're gonna invest the whole talent point into it, it should be passive. Imagine if the mobs did damage as well, then ignore pain would just be gone for most of the time. Yeah. So I just pulled like whatever mobs, right? Those mobs were like really random little mobs. If I'm in a mythic dungeon, the new ignore pain is gonna last one swing, maybe two. In an average, so the ignore pain is a 15k bubble. In an average mythic dungeon, I'm taking 7,000 to 8,000 damage per second, which means that 15k bubble is gonna fall off in 2 seconds. So in a little bit more than the global cooldown to cast it, it's gone. It's gone. I have half a second of like extra space. We would need to be swimming in rage to manage those three. Not only swimming in rage, you would also need to be swimming in haste to lower your global cooldown from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. Because the global cooldown can scale down according to your haste, but only all the way down to 1 second. And that's if you hit 50% haste. But here's something else for you guys. Azerite gear has no secondary stats. So in order for you to hit a haste cap, you're not going to do it with this version of Azerite gear. So unless they're going to add secondary stats to Azerite gear, you're not going to hit any actual cap on anything. Either passive or it costing 10 rage, lasting 30 seconds. Ignore pain is back. Yeah, man. Ignore pain is back. It's pretty terrible, but it's back. Oh, hey, a group that's halfway through a dungeon. Yes! So you guys can see right above my rage bar, that's where ignore pain sits. So if that yellow bar, ignore the 50 on it, because the 50 is like the way the stacks are displaying right now. It's not displaying properly. But this is my ignore pain. Now this guy does a lot of like shield casting, but when he's actually hitting me, he's going to be destroying me and destroying that ignore pain. Just as good as it is? Nah, man. Ignore, what's up, Bolt? Ignore pain right now. What they basically did is they nerfed the hell out of it, and then they gave it back to us. So they put it on the global cooldown. It can only mitigate 50% of incoming damage, and it can only scale up to 30%, 130% of its max cost. So you can't stack Ignore Pains. You can't cast 2 or 3 back to back. The most you can do is cast 1, wait for 60% of it to go away, and then cast the other one. But Ignore Pain is back, but it's very, very, very nerfed. Very nerfed. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's the same spell anymore. Alright, so hopefully everybody can bypass this. Oof, that guy ran really far out there. Yep. We've got a mech jockey over here, so I'm just gonna stay here. Oh, apparently I forgot I kept Bolster on, which is not... You can't run Bolster and this new Ignore Pain. Way too many global. So let me take Bolster off after this pull. Get back a little bit of HP. About 20k HP. Warrior tanking is still hurting? Yes, man. Yes, it is. When we think about it, Jan Clever's idea really would fix most issue. Get rid of IP, unite Bolster Armor, and Absorb. No global cooldown? Yes. I mean, if they put Bolster and Ignore Pain both off of the global cooldown, you can just macro it and do it as one button yourself. But yes, that would really help out. What's really killing us is the fact that our mitigation is spread out between 3 different abilities. We don't have like one mitigation ability. We have our active mitigation, but its uptime is terrible. So they gave us our mitigation in the form of 3 different abilities. And each one of those abilities, 2 out of 3 of those abilities incur a global cooldown, and using all 3 costs 90 rage. I stated it wrong with my quick maths in my video earlier. I said it was 100. It's 90 rage, so almost a full rage bar for what's going to be about 4 to 5 seconds of mitigation. Now, I can't generate a full rage bar every 4 or 5 seconds. That's not how rage bars are working, because they nerfed our rage generation. That was the other big one. It's all been nerfed. How's my healer? My healer needs mana. Let me hold on for a little bit. How did warriors work when active mitigation was first introduced as a thing? I don't know if active mitigation was ever checked as much as it was in Legion. I know before it would be like, hey, we need a warrior because blocking is very strong in this fight. But in terms of an ability saying they're gonna have an active mitigation check, I don't know if that was ever the case before Legion. I think Legion was the first one that ever really did. If you don't have this ability up to take this damage, you're gonna have like extra damage being taken on you. In my opinion, is the Motherlode the worst in seat? Right now, yes, because people don't know it. Like right now, for like the first few months of running the Motherlode, that's gonna be when BfA launches, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be pretty damn terrible because nobody knows it. Everybody's gonna run into every single mob. It's gonna be pretty bad. Do these piles of gold give me anything? I thought I heard somebody collecting them. I guess not. All 3 bombs went off on us. Oh no! I'm gonna go down, guys. I'm gonna go down. Let me rally and cry. Try to stay alive? No. Yeah, all those bombs need to be kicked onto this guy, or else we get beat up. No one was kicking the bombs onto him, so they were hitting us instead. But yeah, the Motherlode is going to be a nightmare. 100%. Warrior rage generation nerf is now offset by player rage generation. Yes. There was somebody commented on one of my videos a while back, and they said something about the rage generation nerfed and it feeling bad. And I was like, well, you have to think about class fantasy. Every person who plays warriors plays it because they use rage as a mechanic, and you're going to be generating more rage yourself as a player to stay within that class fantasy. The class fantasy now extends beyond the game, because the more you rage, then the better of a warrior you're going to be. Rip Prot Warriors, yeah, man. Right now, yeah. I think they should bake bursting talent into Ignore Pain. Oh, the bolstering talent? Yes. I mean, I feel like bolstering should be baseline. I don't feel like it should be a talent point at all. But if they do want to make it a talent point, if we pick up the talent point for bolster instead of Indomitable, then it should be a passive, or it should be like double or something. We should get a good return on investment of our talent points, because that's what talent points are. Talent points are us investing into a certain build. Our certain build being, I want to be a tank. That's not a build. That's just me wanting to play the class and talent spec that I picked. That's all it is. Bombs are still gonna go off on us. It seems like in heroic mode, the bombs have range, a much larger range, because in normal mode you can outrun it. You can outrange the bombs, but it doesn't seem like that's the case here for heroic mode. I've never tried heroic motherload, but it seems pretty bad. Those bombs need to be kicked. Nope, no one's gonna kick the bombs. Alright. We're gonna have to shield wall this. Oh wait, shield wall is still on cooldown. Uh-oh. I don't know if we can survive this. Healer is healing his pants off. Healer's healing 10k HPS, which is relatively high for the content we're doing, to be completely honest with you. Average healers are healing like 7k HPS, so he's up there. The healer's really trying. I do have anger management, so hopefully I can get my cooldown quickly. Those bombs are gonna go off again. We're gonna have 3 bombs go off. Let me try to diminish the amount of damage that this guy's doing to me. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh no, oh no. Rallying cry. Oh, this hurts, guys. Oh, this hurts. Static pulse, shield wall. This isn't the issue of Prot Warriors, by the way. This is just the bombs keep going off on us because nobody's pushing them onto the boss. That's all it is. There it is. We did things, and I got an upgrade. Haste Mastery! Yes! Oh wait, I already have 2 325s? Yeah, it's not gonna be much better. Okay. They could fix it in a single patch if they did the right things. Yes. Broken bones. Feels bad, man. IRL rage. So the devs are actually forcing people who play Warriors to RP? Yes! We all have to just RP now. There's nothing we can do about it. You were waiting for my stream since you saw this announcement, Kyle? Yeah, the only news is that it doesn't feel good. Like, if they would have given us the current version of Ignore Pain, I think we would have been okay with it. Things would have felt okay. The current Ignore Pain is off of the global cooldown. The current Ignore Pain scales to 2800% of our attack power, but this version of Ignore Pain is on the global cooldown. It only scales up to 500% of our attack power, so it was nerfed by 2300%, nerfed by 2300% of its scaling, and put on the global cooldown. That's not getting an ability back. That's getting half of an ability back. Even less. This new Ignore Pain is even less than half of what it was. I can't even use it right now. It doesn't scale. It's only 40 rage. Like Preach says, having one talent that's automatic, the other talents are irrelevant, makes Class X boring. Yes. But if it only made us boring, then I'd be okay with it. But Bolster only offers 5% mitigation. Like, it's not doing that much for us, and it's taking up a whole talent row. It's the only thing keeping us alive when shield block is down. It's the only thing keeping us mitigated. So as a tank, it's part of your kit. You have to mitigate. Without being able to mitigate, you're not a tank. So part of our core is locked behind of a talent point. Doesn't make sense. Don't make any decisions yet. 4 months left. They're listening. We gotta ignore pain back. Yeah, I'm not quitting Warriors yet. The Warriors, the only thing that I have max level in the beta, so I'm not quitting Warriors yet. But I can just tell you that right now they don't look good. That's what I can for sure tell you. But I'm not making any decisions. I haven't deleted my current Warrior in live in Legion, so we're okay. I understand. They don't have 4 months, by the way. They have 3 months, and even then, not really. They have 2 months because pre-patch is gonna go live in 2 months. The current live Battle for Azeroth goes live in less than 3 months, August 14th, I believe. So in 3 months minus 2 days, right? Pre-patch is gonna go live 1 month before that, so that means that we only have 2 months to give our feedback. So the only reason I'm making a deal about like this whole ignore pain situation is because they need our feedback. They need our feedback. You know, Ian plays a Resto Shaman. This feels bad. So they need our feedback when it comes to Prot Warriors. They need to know that things feel bad. They need us all to tell them, hey, this all feels bad. And instead of just saying, this feels bad, fix it, you idiots. They need actual feedback. So this feels bad. You could fix it by doing X, Y, and Z. These are the 3 or 4 options you could take to fix it. I don't care which one you take, just take one of them. So yeah, they definitely need our feedback. So that's why I think it's important to talk about it now and to say it feels bad. Saying it feels bad doesn't mean I'm going to rage quit Warriors. It just means that it feels bad and it needs to be looked at. Blizzard needs to put their developers back on this. Dang, that whole thing was just one big kite because that pull is terrible. Is there no more Devastator talent? There is a Devastator talent, but the Devastator talent provides no rage. Our rage generation was nerfed. Devastator gives 0 rage. None. Your guild already thinks that you RP your warrior. Well, now you're going to be doing it more. My healer needs mana. Somebody just said, this dungeon is going to be insane with affixes like bolstering. The problem is, every single pull has been a really big ninja pull. So that has a lot to do with it. It still frees up global cooldowns. Yes, but it's in the same row as other things that help you be rage efficient. So, Devastator frees up a global, gives you no rage, but the other talent points in that row do give you rage. So, it moved rows, and Devastator doesn't do much because it doesn't give you any rage now. It makes your auto attacks hit harder. It gives you a 20% chance of proccing Shield Slam, so it's a talent point that has an RNG component that could make you generate more rage, or it has an RNG component that could actually screw you over and make your talent point just not worth it. So Devastator right now is in a really weird place. During Nighthold, a good amount of Frosty Cates headed Breathless into Grossa playstyle because it was complex. Last you heard, Brewmaster and Demon Hunter tanks seem to be the best right now. Brewmasters are always going to be strong unless they change the way Stagger works. But Stagger gives every Brewmaster tank a really big, effective HP pool. And that's what Stagger does. That's just amazing. It's incomparable to anything else that any other tank has. It gives them a huge, effective HP pool. Oh, that guy's gonna die. That DK died. RP Warriors are the new trend. You hope Blizzard listens to feedback from knowledgeable warriors like yourself. I hope they listen to some feedback because this can't go live, guys. This is no good. I tweet at them. I try to do my fair share. Yesterday I was I was a little tilted. I'm not gonna lie. You know, Crom tweeted at me and he said, "Hey, Ignore Pain is back. Please test it out." And then as soon as I log on, it's like, Ignore Pain is not back. They nerfed the hell out of Ignore Pain and gave it back to us, but it does like 8% of my HP. Okay, hold on. Let's do this right here. Ignore Pain is just got tossed up. Let's see how long it lasts. That must have lasted 3 seconds. It cost me 1.5 seconds to throw it up, and it lasted 3 seconds. Like, So yeah, Ignore Pain is not back in the sense that we need it. We need an actual Ignore Pain back, but you know, I got a little tilted yesterday because it said new ability, Ignore Pain, and then it's all completely nerfed to the ground. Whoa, 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 let's not pull the boss without our 2 DP. This guy really? This guy's pulling the boss with 2 DPSers missing? It's fine. There is a new war mode. Now all warriors will be RP mode. We're all stuck in RP PvP realms. Ignore Pain, Paper Bubble. Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. What's my opinion for a fun tank to play other than warrior or close to the warrior class? I suggest Demon Hunters. They're very fun. Demon Hunters have very high activity, so you're always hitting something. You're managing how many soul fragments are out there. They have a lot of different builds. If you go Spirit Bomb, you're basically going Leech. If you go Soul Barrier, you can maximize bubbles before big hits. The new Azerite traits are really cool for Demon Hunters. I think that is... So I think the biggest downfall of Demon Hunters is I think they're missing one cooldown. But when you look at the Azerite traits, they got another cooldown in them. So the Azerite traits, they have one that makes it so that after they throw on a fiery brand, they basically get a bubble for the amount of damage that they did. So yeah, I think Demon Hunters are going to be really cool. They have really cool traits. The Azerite traits of Protection Warriors right now are pretty bad. Not going to lie to you guys. If you Thunderclap one single target, you get a bubble for about 300 to 400 HP. I have 172,000 HP. What is a bubble of 400 going to do? So yeah, that's what it looks like for us. But other classes get a bubble for a full like 7-8k based on their traits. So yeah, if you want to play something else that's very fun, I would suggest Demon Hunter. Demon Hunters are pretty fun right now. Everybody's dead. There's only one person that's left alive. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Ignore Pain is back, Frog. How about giving us their global cooldown back? I agree with you. Frog, Ignore Pain is back, but in the most nerfed way possible. So they said, here, have Ignore Pain back. We're going to make it scale 2,300% less from your AP. So in current Live Legion, it scales 2,800%. In Battle for Azeroth, it only scales 500. So it's a 2,300% nerf. It's on the global cooldown. And you no longer get to pick how much rage it uses. It's 40 rage all the time. Oh, and you can only stack it up to 30% above its original value. So currently live in Legion, you can stack 3 full Ignore Pains on top of each other. In BfA, you can only stack 1 and 1/3 Ignore Pains on top of each other. They they basically took it from us, and then they completely destroyed it. They tortured it for like months. They didn't feed it, and now that it's like near death and it's on life support, they're like, "Oh, you can have it back." No, here you go. You can have it back. I didn't mean to take it away from you. I'm sorry. Like here it is, and you're like, this isn't even the same thing anymore. You murdered it. They removed the Thunderclap bubble. They did. I hardly use the Azerite traits. No, it's right here. Thunderclap deals an extra... Oh, no, they did. Demo Shout. Extra Demo Shout time. Okay. That's better. Still not amazing. It doesn't line up with getting a free bubble on Demon Hunters, but it's better. So they gave you an ability called Ignore Pain, but not really. Yes, they gave us an ability called Ignore Pain, but it's not the same ignore pain that you know. I need to change my weak auras too. They glow when I have 40 rage, but shield block now costs 30. They did lower the rage cost of shield block to 30, so there's that. But then they lowered the shield block cost to 30, but then they made us spend 40 more rage on the new ignore pain. So the parody video of Ian nerfing us was pure comedy. Had a good laugh while crying. Thank you, James. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I don't normally make a lot of shit posts on my channel, but every time I kept reading the new build of beta go up, I was like, I felt like the Black Knight. I just felt like they're slowly chopping me up, because it wasn't a big nerf. They didn't go, Prot Warriors, ignore pain is completely gone right off the bat, and you can only have 50 rage max. Like, it wasn't that. It was a small change. Shield Slam generates less rage. Charge generates less rage. Shield block costs more rage. Ignore pain has been nerfed a little bit. Actually, you know what? Ignore pain is gone. It was like just a lot of little things that I didn't understand why they existed. Why were they changing them? I like holding this totem while doing things. It doesn't look natural. You need to watch some videos of Demon Hunters to see how well they do. They're doing pretty good, man. I can stream Demon Hunter more, probably actually on Friday, just because right now I really want to go over these changes to Warriors. But I need to level up my Demon Hunter first. But yeah, I can start streaming other tanks so you guys can get a better look at other tanks. I just need to actually start leveling them up. Which, now that they said that they're not going to delete all the characters in the beta, I can just start focusing on them and leveling them up. I don't want to pull this mastermind here. He might pull this group, and masterminds are terrible. Let's go this way. Oh, you see, so like Demo Shout is on the global cooldown as well. So if you want to Demo Shout to get that rage from Booming Voice to do something, you're gonna have to wait 2 globals, because Demo Shout's on the global, so you have to wait. Yeah, there's just a lot of things. You want a warrior of your very own, you'll hug him and pet him and squeeze him and call him nerfed? Aww. As a warrior right now, I just feel like when you see those movies and there's like a little kid that's really angry at an adult, and they just start like trying to swing, and the adult just like holds their head and like pats them, and it's like, oh, they're so cute when they're mad. That's warriors right now. We're so full of rage, and we're using rage as a mechanic, but we're just kind of cute. That's where we're left. That's where we're left at right now. It's like, oh, look at the cute little warrior, and then someone goes, guys, we were raid testing and we couldn't get very far. Oh man, well, what kind of composition did you have? We had a Prot Warrior tanking. There, that's your problem. That's why you couldn't get very far. As if Ian got more angry as we persisted like the Black Knight. Yeah, man. Thank you, thank you. Like I said, I don't normally do those comedy posts, but I was like, this is just how it feels right now, man. This feels terrible. This mastermind. Uh-oh. Somebody in my group right now said that Frost DKs are trash and he's gonna quit his Frost DK, but he's at the top of the charts. Come on, global cooldown. Nice! I need to get behind my healer, because these guys do a frontal cone silence. So, there you get over here. Over here. This weapon tester guy does a frontal cone silence. Healer, I'm trying to get behind you. Don't run behind me. Why do I have to left lane warrior so much? I know, man. That's how I feel. Using charge into a shield slam is just so gratifying. I think the only way to get me to completely quit a warrior is to remove charge. If they remove charge, then I'd be like, I guess that's That's all I really liked on a warrior. I really just like charge. All right, let's go die. Okay, so first I'm gonna rotate in my shield blocks, right? And I'm getting destroyed, so I'm gonna have to rotate in my ignore pain soon, but I don't have the rage for it. Shield block is completely gone. There's enough rage for ignore pain now. Okay, perfect. Now let's throw on spell reflect. Nope, it wasn't enough. So last stand, and there's ignore pain. I need rallying cry to survive this. I'm gonna pop a shield wall already. I'm just sitting at like 50% all the time. All right, come on, come on, come on. I killed something. I got my victory rush. Victory rush kept me alive through that. Oof, there's no way you can heal that much. I was taking 14,000 damage a second. Are you kidding me? This pull is going to be the worst pull regardless. But how am I supposed to survive that? Even with taking that much damage per second, I wasn't generating as much rage as I needed to maintain that ignore pain uptime. I think we got it. I think we got it. No, he's going to heal. Frost DK, new tank. I think he's going to do it. Oh, that guy's going to die. By the way, guys, when you guys go into the mother load, just jump in the cart. I've tried running down the track myself. You're just never successful. Just run. Spam ignore pain. Bolstering mastermind? No, no, no. Bolstering fortified mastermind. Bolstering necrotic or raging. Just don't do this dungeon, guys. This dungeon is making Prot Warriors look worse. Seems to you like warriors always get the shaft. The thing is, warriors have a really weird thing, right? So warriors mitigate a lot of physical damage. That's supposed to be their class fantasy. Giant bulky guys full of plate armor with shields. They just take all the physical damage and they come out on top. Sorry, I have the hiccups. I don't know why. What? That guy pulled a mastermind. Okay. So yeah, Prot Warriors are really weird like that. We're supposed to be able to take all the physical damage. So what happens is, normally, not this expansion, but normally in the beginning of expansion, they make us really good at being able to take that physical damage. And then like the first tier of that expansion happens. We're good. And then the second tier is being tested, and they give us the second tier of gear, and then we scale way too high because we were already good before. We go from good to great and like really good, and then they're like, hold on, we need to take a look at their abilities. Let's nerf a little bit of this, nerf a little bit of the armor that they get, nerf a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like Ignore Pain got nerfed twice in Legion before Nighthold even came out. So they go through in the beginning of an expansion and tune us down. So I think they've seen that, and now this time they're like, no, we're going to tune it down beforehand. So yeah, warriors have a really weird kit because we scale. We're very gear dependent. So the first tier is normally decent for us, and as we move on to the second tier, we get better. And we're not supposed to do that. Every tank is just supposed to kind of like be the same. We're all supposed to have a certain amount of mitigation. We do a certain percentage, but since warriors are kind of like armor based and physical damage based, the way we scale is different than other tanks. So yeah, gearing or scaling warriors has always been funky. Whoa, heroic mode has like spewing volcanoes from the edges. So not only does Rixa herself like throw Azurite on the ground, but also the environment is messing us up. Okay, good to know. Ignore Pain. Look at that. Oh, there's sewage pipes. Okay. They'll need to cap this dungeon to 1 hour to finish these. No one's going to be able to finish it in an hour. Is that supposed to be a hard pull? Yeah, the one that I died to is supposed to be the hardest pull. It has 2 mini bosses in it and 2 regular bosses, I think it is. Or it could be 2 regular mobs. It could be 4 regular mobs and 2 mini bosses. I forget, but yeah, that one has 2 mini bosses at the same time. That's the hardest pull this dungeon, short of a boss fight. Undead are terrible. Yeah, that's why I'm a Tara now. Oof! Is someone gonna die to that? I was gonna race change before the live stream started, but I was like, the 1% versatility might make me not want to quit my warrior. By the way, what's up, Max? How you doing, man? Okay. Everybody's dying. And that guy just stood on dying stuff. Alright. Are we all going to get healed? No. We're all going to be at like 2% health. Let's do this. It's important to focus the technician, because then he like rages out the machine. So you have to be very careful. I want booming voice back. I want booming voice back. I can't. The amount of rage I generate is not enough. Revenge doesn't make it worth it. Oh, Jesus. Alright. He needs to take the wheel. What do I want back? Booming voice. All of this stuff on the ground. Are they gonna make the dungeons take 1 hour again? Like 30 minutes was good with a group? Yes, Warblade. I think keys are still gonna be about half an hour. So keys, I think will still have the same time frame, but this one in particular is very difficult. It's kind of like the Seat of the Triumvirate, because it's all outdoors. Everything is very close combat, close quarters combat. Things are difficult in this dungeon. This dungeon has a lot of mini bosses that can't be snared, can't be stunned. So this is kind of like the Seat of the Triumvirate of BfA. So yeah, I don't expect this dungeon to be easy ever. What's up, Salazar? How you doing? That charge was very delayed too. But yeah, if you guys think that all these warrior changes should be changed and should be looked at by Ian again, you guys should make your voice heard. Provide feedback, and I mean it in a positive way. Like, if you guys just want to take an easy way of providing the feedback, I've been tweeting at Ian all of last night. I tweeted at him. Actually, I don't think I tagged him in today's video, but reaching out to Ian, to the devs, is a positive way of doing it, as long as you provide some sort of feedback. As long as you just don't tweet at them that they don't know what they're doing with their game. But, you know, try to provide some positive feedback, and hopefully we can get all this stuff sorted out. We don't need everything undone and everything changed, because I don't think there's been a single build in BfA where warriors feel where warriors feel complete. There just hasn't been. Ignore Pain was nerfed, and then Ignore Pain was removed, and then we didn't have anything for a few builds. So I don't think there's been a build in BfA where prot warriors just feel complete. Let me activate that mine for them. I have Victory Rush up. Prot warrior damage is spiky. It seems that your HP dips dangerously slow almost every pull. Yes. Currently in Legion, our HP doesn't dip very far below like 60%. With my live warrior, if my HP dips down below 60%, I'm freaking out because of the way Ignore Pain works. But in this new one, we don't have healing anymore. Like, if you look at the healing meters, I'm nowhere on it. That's not the way this new Ignore Pain works. So prot warriors are kind of like monks too, where we sit between 60 and 40% at a decent amount of time, because getting our active mitigation takes a while. Getting the rage required for shield block and for bolster, or for Ignore Pain, now that that's implemented, all of that takes a lot of time now. Like, there's no easy way of getting my active mitigation up. So in the beginning of every pull, I'm taking spiky damage. Nothing I could do. If they increase the amount of rage I generate, things would be better, and they decrease the amount of rage that certain things cost, I'd be able to, you know, have a much more steady damage taken chart. But with the way things are right now, yeah, that's not really how it's working out for us. So I have a self-heal, which I'm keeping, even though a lot of people aren't running that. And that's because I feel like I need it. I feel like I need to be able to provide a 15% of my HP every 30 seconds. So it works out to being 0.5% of HP per second. But even then, that just feels like I need it. I need it. There's no way I can live without this self-heal whenever I take bursty damage. Oh, that is quick. That's quick for a dungeon mechanic. We need to start looking out for him. Where is he? There he is. So he's probably gonna do a carpet bombing this way again. Oh, okay, he went away. Oh, I'm being targeted. Come on. Stand right there. Perfect. Alright. Pick me again. Perfect. He's not actually smashing the things, though. Huh. Pick me again. Pick me again. He needs to actually destroy these things. There was a brand new build of everything that went out last night, too. Late last night. And I think it broke a few things. There it is. He actually broke those two. Report in-game via suggestions tab as well. Forum threads, no matter how detailed, get buried. Yes. I do think that forum threads get buried. I think part of that is the fact that you talk about forum threads and everybody plays at a different capacity, right? So if we look at Prot Warriors and you look at only normal mode dungeons, there's not much that like needs to be done because the damage in a normal mode dungeon is not that bad. But that's just because the damage isn't bad for any class. When we start talking about doing heroics, doing mythics, that's when we start seeing a lot of the issues come up. But if we talk about leveling dungeons and normal mode dungeons, there's nothing terrible there. There's nothing terrible to see there. Nice. 179 strength. 2-minute cooldown, minute 30 seconds. Okay, that's fine. Can I macro both of my trinkets in? Let's see if that works. Because they said that they wanted to take the trinkets off the global, and they did. But I don't know if they both work now. Let's see. Oh, we can use both at the same time. Very nice. Oh no, it does share a cooldown. Oh, it is. It's a 30-second. Okay, that's fine. IP is back. IP is back, man. IP is back. It's very nerfed though. Very, very nerfed. Let me go over it with you. Ignore Pain is now 40 rage all the time. There's no way of changing it. Also, it only ignores 50% of damage taken. And you see that 14,000 total? Oh, I died. So 15,000 total damage prevented. It does our attack power times 500%. In Live and Legion, the Ignore Pain does attack power times 2,800%. Which means that we got nerfed. We got a nerfed version of Ignore Pain. Nerfed by a total of 2,300%. And it's on the global cooldown. That's the big one too. It's on the global. So we got Ignore Pain back, but it was nerfed by a lot. A lot. You didn't really feel like SOT was really tough, to be honest, with the way the mobs are spaced. It looks like a lot of Horde version of Nomer. SOT, what are we talking about? Con carne. What are we talking about? It feels like they're set in their ways and don't want to budge much. Yeah, well, here's the thing. They basically said, we don't want warriors to have a bubble. We don't want warriors to heal. It feels bad. It feels, this is not how tanks are supposed to be designed. But we just got ignore pain back. Now, we got a very nerfed version of it back. But even if they're set on their ways, even if they don't want to budge, player feedback made ignore pain come back. If it wasn't for player feedback, ignore pain would have never come back. They need something to fix warriors. We're still not fixed. So we still need to make our voices heard. Sometimes you get the feeling that devs are arrogant in that they change something and they think they know better than good players who have a lot of experience playing the class. And in some sense they are, because it's their product. So in some sense they'll say, you guys are not game developers. We are the game developers. So we know best. It's one of those cases of you think you do, but you don't. And I think that's a normal thing to have. I think all of us in our current job, when someone shows up to our job and they're completely different, like it doesn't matter what our job is, but when someone in a completely different field shows up and says, this is how you do your job, I think we all instinctively go, no. I know how to do my job. You work doing this other thing, so don't worry about it. So it's very important to provide feedback that is in a more positive tone, as opposed to just going, hey, that's not how you do it. Do it this way, idiot. So, you know, trying to provide positive feedback is the best way of doing it. And I don't blame the devs for inherently reacting that way, because it's a very normal response when somebody tells you how to do your job for you to go, you don't even work in this field. It's a very normal thing. I won't fault them for that. But I will fault them for putting it on the global cooldown. It's a shit show in Mythic Goldware testing. Yeah, I didn't want to jump in there. It's been pretty bad when it comes to heroic already, and they scale the bosses up by so much. There's a lot of abilities that are almost one-shotting the raid in heroic. In Mythic, I'm more than certain that there's plenty of things walking around slapping people in the face, one-shotting them. So I was like, eh. You were excited about BfA, but as a prot warrior, K-Dog, we still have hope. If we still talk to the developers and make it known that we want certain changes, then things can still change. We have 2 months. We have 2 months to ask for changes, so now's the time. If you just want to like sit back and see how prot warriors change, you know, stay tuned to my channel. And I am a main prot warrior, and I'm not just going to sit back and be like, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. So if you just want to like sit back and observe the changes, maybe by the time BfA goes live, we'll be good. But you know, you need to stay tuned for that. This is the portion of the beta where they say feedback is very important. This is where we are right now. Oh, we can go up. Okay, perfect. I thought we were gonna aggro those guys. Wait. Oh, somebody did pull. Nice. Hey, priest pull. Oh, Seed of the Triumvirate. Oh, okay, yeah. Seed of the Triumvirate was really rough with the mobs being paced out. Yes, I agree. So this Motherload is the new version of that. Seed of the Triumvirate, the reason why it's so bad, or the reason why it's so hard, is the fact that there's no walls between anything. So all the mobs can be body pulled. There's no separation between anything. That's what really makes Seed of the Triumvirate terrible. You can't LOS. People have no semblance of where to stand. Like, if there was artificial walls in Seed of the Triumvirate with like piles of trash from spaceships or something, then more people would be like, okay, I know that I should be standing right here with my back up against this. But there's none of that. There's no trash that allows you, so people just stand everywhere. And the Motherload is the same. The Motherload is exactly the same. You can stand anywhere, you can body pull all the things. Everything is just one big open room. So a few walls would go a long way. Even if they can be artificial walls. They can be piles of rubble or something. But yeah, Seed of the Triumvirate is mostly rough because it's big open rooms. everybody just spreads out. Everybody just freaks out, like start to jump into one side or the other. But if there was like a corridor, wouldn't happen. Embrace your inner warrior and rage constructively. Yes, I agree. I think I tweeted yesterday one thing where I was like, seriously, devs? Really? But I try to provide some positive feedback in every time I reach out to them. I'm sure they got tired of my tweets yesterday. Time to check the forums. We need a legendary bracer as a talent. That'd be nice. How amazing would it be if we got the legendary bracers as a talent? I agree. The legendary bracers were the funnest thing for me playing a warrior in Legion. Those bracers changed the way that warriors felt so much. I loved it. I loved it. If they gave us that as a talent point, it'd be great. Can we get rid of the global cooldown? Yes, I agree. I still want to get rid of that too. If they don't make the warriors tankable like they were, like your life would be easier, you would quit WoW. I'm telling you, man, if they get rid of charge, I'm quitting warriors. That's it. The only reason I play a warrior from other classes is because we get to charge into battle with a giant shield. The minute it's like charges removed and warriors don't use shields anymore, that's when I'm like, alright guys, sorry. I don't see the point in playing a warrior. I might as well just play a DK. It's the same thing. Whoa! Who's pulling all the stuff? I'm gonna blame the Boomkin. Blaming the Boomkin for big AoE pulls, normally the right move. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and blame the Boomkin. I don't have enough rage to constantly have Ignore Pain up. You guys seeing this? There it is. Ignore Pain. How long is it gonna last? It's gone. And Ignore Pain. How long is it gonna last? It's gone. Ignore Pain goes away almost as quickly as the global cooldown is ready to cast another ability. You don't like Ignore Pain ability, but it's definitely needed. I agree. It's really weird as a tank to be like, I am gonna bubble myself. It's just kind of funky. I think a version of shield block that worked a little bit slower would be cool. But bolster is also cool. You bolster your armor. You're able to take more abilities with your rage. Like you completely Hulk out with rage, and then at that point, yeah, somebody pulled the boss. Not gonna happen. Not especially not in heroic mode. Not gonna be in there. Especially as a warrior, like you rage out and you increase the amount of damage you do. I mean, you increase the amount of armor you have, so you can mitigate more physical damage. So when people hit you, you're like more likely to survive. It makes sense. I think that boss hits from really far away too. See, it's hard because of the raid-like mechanics. The open space isn't bad, really. Normally, my wipes from seat come from big body pulls. They don't really come from mechanics. Normally, the wipes I have in seat are from people running into like 4 or 5 mobs at the same time, 4 or 5 groups at the same time. And then it's like, there's no way you can survive this. There's no way you can survive a pull of 4 mobs on a fortified bolstering week. Like, good luck. This is death. You were on the forums creating a shit show. That's what I need to do. I need to dust off my forum account. I haven't posted in the forums in a very long time. I need to dust off my forum account and get it like a really nice shit post going. Alright, now we can do the boss. When it's one pull at a time. Alright, let's go. Whoa, did you guys see that? That was the trinket. I forgot that I still had it macroed. That was an interesting trinket. It makes me barf. Oh no. There's one Ignore Pain. I finally got an Ignore Pain up. Let me try to get another Ignore Pain up, but my shield Sim is eating the globals. I need to step out of here. Let's get another Ignore Pain up. Okay. I can get shield block up. He's going to call a bunch of ads. And if the ads get to him, he eats their HP and multiplies it by like 200% or something. So we got to kill the ads. Booming voice to get my shield block up and my ignore pain. All of these servants, he's going to start eating them. Look at that, tenderize. Oh, perfect. We killed him before he got to eat his servants. Warrior rage generation idea. You generate more rage as your armor durability goes down. Bigger repair bill is more rage. But they're going to introduce the new... there's a new mount being introduced into the game that costs 5 million gold. I need gold. You guys are pulling maggots over there. They're not elites. You guys can keep them. It's fine. You were already wondering what happened to the pig dude from Beyond Good and Evil. He's here. He's here. When you first started to play WoW, you were creeped out by Duskwood and feared something would pop out and kill you. When I first started playing WoW, I didn't know what it meant when mobs had a skull on their level. I didn't know that it meant that there were more than, what is it, 5 levels above you or something? Something like that. So I was leveling up. I was in, oh god, I forgot the name of it now. I was in Elwyn Forest. And I saw the river and I was like, let me just cross over to this river. So I'm crossing the river over to Duskwood. And I see a wolf that has a skull. And I'm like, oh man. I think that means it can kill me. But I want to test it out. So I kept running after that wolf. And then when it just one-shot me. Instantly. And I was like, dude, this is probably like... I know level 60 is the cap. This is probably like a group of level 60s need to run in here to even be able to survive. Like, this is insane. You need an actual group of people just for a wolf. But little did I know, it was just like a level 20 something area, and I was just like level 8. So I had a lot to do with it. But when I first saw a Duskwood wolf, I was like, this is insane. This requires so much coordination just for an area with wolves. Yeah. We were all noobs at one point. 5 mil gold. That mount better have a village on it. Yes. It doesn't help that it was a PvP realm. Oh, yeah. My very first realm was also a PvP realm, and I remember I met this guy who was a hunter, and he was level 60, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna go tame a really rare bat. This is the only bat that has this appearance, and I really want it because it looks special. Do you want to come with me?" And I was like, sure, we're Alliance. And then he goes, alright, we need to go over to Undercity. And I was like, Undercity is a Horde territory? He's like, yeah, I know. That's where it is. It's right outside of Undercity. I forgot what the bat's name was. But it was like an albino looking bat. And I guess it was the only one that was a white bat. So he wanted it. So we got on the Zeppelin. And then he was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to protect you. I didn't know that, like... as a lower level, you can't really see invisible rogues and stuff, and if you're the same level as them, that's when you can start seeing them a little bit better. So yeah, I was walking around, and then he starts typing out to me, "Careful, there's a rogue behind you." I didn't know where the hell this rogue was. I just started jumping, and then this hunter marked him and nuked the rogue, and I was like, damn, that's insane. Hunters are awesome. I want a hunter. I ended up making a hunter because I thought you could just see invisible people that were just everywhere. And while I was leveling in Elwyn, I was like, how many invisible people did I just walk by? Oh no, the fire disappeared. I need the fire. Get in the fire. You need to take this guy into the fire so he loses his stacks of DPS increase. Come on, ignore pain. A Duskwood equals Stitches? Yes. Stitches was difficult. You had a lot of fun in BC as a Belf and having to find a real group to kill the 2 abominations in Ghostlands that roam the Dead Scar. Yeah, I think the most fun I had was actually probably in Wrath, doing just endgame progression, endgame raiding, because Ulduar was very fun. Because it was the first time that it had It was the first time that a raid had hard modes. So you had all the other raids that were just static. It was just you either did it in normal or heroic, or before that in vanilla you just did it in normal mode. But when Wrath came out, there was hard modes. So that made it really interesting. There's like a special boss, by the way, if you activate that Val pod. FPS issues in the beta is still a thing. So yeah, I really liked Ulduar because you could do it once, and then you could challenge yourself and do it on hard mode, all the bosses. I had a lot of fun tanking that. As a warrior tank, actually. It was fun. Ignore pain! Save me! Ignore pain lasted, I believe, 2 seconds on that one. Let's see. Ignore pain. Let's watch it. And, oh, it lasted a much better time because they were stunned. You want your ignore pain to last. Stun the targets. Pro tips. Let's go up, guys. Let's go up. Let's go up. Why are we pulling stuff? Alright, how do we get ignore pain up? Come on, we need more rage. I just used revenge, and there it goes. Ignore pain! And it was gone in 2 seconds. Ignore pain has a total duration of 10, I believe. Oh, it has a total duration of 12 seconds, so it was gone in 3. Alright, get ignore pain up. And there it is. The fact that ignore pain got scaled down so much when they gave it back to us right now, a 2,300% nerf in scaling is insane. Ignore pain in live gives us about 30% of our HP as a bubble. This one gives us about 8%. About 8% of our HP is what ignore pain is doing right now. IP lasts longer when you don't take damage. Let me change this to, it's a little bit better. Alright, this next boss, I don't know if we're going to be able to actually kill it, because this next boss has a lot of mechanics. There's 3 witches, each witch has its own mechanic, and they're pretty deadly. The first witch MCs someone, and you have to nuke that person down to 50% health before they get un-mind controlled. The second witch makes it so that you can't stand in place, you have to move, and then you get a debuff on you that makes you blow up after 5 seconds, so not only do you have to keep moving, but you also have to spread out and not stack on top of each other. And then the third witch, I think, just does like regular cast. The third one is the one that's, you know, whatever. But the other 2, deadly, very deadly witches. And ignore pain. Ignore pain, come back. I think if ignore pain was at least at 30% of our HP, it'd be a little bit better. But still, it needs to be off the global cooldown. It's part of our baseline mitigation stuff. Why do we have to be punished for it by having to incur a global cooldown? Alright, I'm going to need to clear this whole room too before pulling the witch, which is this part of the room and the other part of the room. And that's because we need to spread out. Nice! Boomkin AoEs. Alright, let me just start going way over here. And there's a pull right behind me. There it is. Oh, hey. I wonder who pulled it. I'm going to blame the Boomkin every time, guys. Although I think it was the warrior. I think it was the other warrior. Alright, so hopefully we can put in work with this boss and try to get the boss down. But this is the pug killer here. Although the real pug killer is the Motherlode dungeon. Alright, so this first boss back there, Sister Solena, she's gonna do mind control. We need to kill that person. Let me do an ignore pain and jump in. Alright, so you can't really do damage to the ones that are non-active, but you need to bring her down to 50% as quickly as possible, and there it is, soul manipulation on me. So they need to nuke me down to 50% HP. Good luck, I'm a tank. I have ignore pain now. I've got ignore pain, you can't nuke me. Huh. Alright, so with this one, you have to keep moving, and then there's this debuff on me. That's going to make me blow up in 2, 1... Everybody blows up. Okay, we're all alive. So there it is. I have another debuff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna blow up. Everybody get away from me. There was some stacking going on with some of the casters. I think the caster and the healer stood right next to each other, and yeah, they're dead. They're dead. Well, one of them is dead. Sorry. Oh, this guy just has thorns, or this one has thorns, right? So a rogue is probably gonna be taking the most damage here. You want to do slow and big hits on this one. Alright, back to the first one who's gonna MC us. And where's the MC going out? Not only does she MC, but after the MC, she's gonna start doing a cast that's gonna nuke everybody. So I'm gonna keep her targeted. Hopefully they nuke me down fast. Right after this, they need to nuke the boss down. So she's gonna do something. Where is it? Come on, cast it. It's called like, it's not called the end of the world, but like apocalypse something or other. Oh, I guess she didn't cast it this time. Alright, so this one again, we gotta keep moving because of this debuff right here. Moving reduces this effect. And then we're gonna get the ticking bomb on us, the unstable runic mark. There it is. Let's go ahead and move out of the way, spread out. We're about to blow up right now. Perfect. We've got ignore pain up, and then this last one with the thorns, no big deal. We actually got it on a one-shot. I'm very surprised. I didn't think we were going to be able to one-shot this boss. At least your party can nuke you faster with the IP nerfs. That's a very, very good positive. On Mythic Plus, and when this goes live, if they bring back the ignore pain, it's just not going to be possible. Perfect. And then it takes like 5 seconds to give us loot. And boss is dead. Blizzard, the boss is dead. Blizzard, can I get my loot? Thank you. Which one has loot? Here it is. The first one, the one who MCs, is the one that has the loot every time. Okay, let's go back. We have 2 more bosses. Yeah, 2 more bosses to go. So right now, Protection Warriors, you know, things feel bad. We're taking a lot of spike damage, and if you see my damage taken during this boss fight has a lot of like cleave and stuff, but normally the damage taken is way higher than other tanks. And right now, I'm perfectly geared to be doing this content. This content drops item level 325, and that's what I have equipped. What? Why are they pulling me that way? There's nothing that way. You guys are tripping. They keep telling me that it's here. I don't... okay, let's see what they're talking about. Might be like an optional boss or something that I don't know of for some reason. I got this ignore pain here. Got him. Okay, so they want to go this way. I'm not quite sure why. It's the same door. This door leads us to the same area. Yeah, this door over here is the exact same path. So we were out in the courtyard where the giant tree guy was. That's where we're gonna go right now. Shadow Cleave. Oh, by the way, guys, something else for you prot warriors out there. Spell Reflect currently live in Legion gives us 50% magic mitigation. 50%. When the BfA beta launched, it gave us 30%, but it's been nerfed, and now it only does 15%. What are they talking about? Where are they going? Here? What the hell is this? They did teach me something new. What is this? Oh, this is the... Oh, it's the other part of the cellar. Ignore pain! So yeah, Spell Reflect has been nerfed to only do 15% of magic damage now. I can't spam Ignore Pain enough. I had the rage on that one. So yeah, Spell Reflect was also nerfed by 35%. Actually, that's compared to live, but yeah, it's in terms of how we take magic damage now, you just kind of you pray a little bit. Oh, I have the mark that's gonna make me blow up, right? Man, that's a lot of damage. IP, the best 2 seconds of a warrior's day. Except it also takes a global to get it going. Feels bad. E and Y. Alright, let me pick up this one right here. But yeah, Ignore Pain has a few issues. The fact that it isn't scaling as high as it should is one, and the other one is the fact that it's on the global cooldown. If it was off of the global cooldown, you know, the scaling would still be a big issue, but it would at least not interfere with our regular rotation. It would take a step back, and it would feel like an actually defensive ability that we can use at any moment that we have the right amount of rage. But right now, it's just kind of a toss-up to when you're gonna use it, and like requiring 40 rage every single time and taking away the flexibility of it is also not a great positive thing. But if they want to make it a static ability, I think off of the global cooldown and make it scale more would be the right choices. Let me barf on him. There it is. There you go. How does that feel? Feel like a warrior now? Because then this guy gets to barf on me. Yeah, so you nuke this guy and he gets healed up by like his wife like 3 times, and on the 4th time she comes over and you get to just run away. By the way, guys, if you guys don't want to spread that contagion disease everywhere, you need to spread apart when that's about to blow up. And this boss has a lot of kiting as well for a very small platform. There are rage starved warriors in Africa that'd be happy to have our 200. Oh man. But it is true. It is true. There are rage starved warriors all over the planet. There are warriors that didn't even think Ignore Pain would make it. But it made it. It's here. It defied all expectations and became a really, really bad shell of its former self. Nobody was expecting Ignore Pain to get nerfed by 2000% and then be on the global and then get it back. I can tell you nobody predicted that one. No one on the internet was like, this is gonna happen. 2000% nerf on the global and then we get it back. Also, instead of doing 90% of damage, it does 50%. That's what's going on here. Can I barf on them? Almost. Oof. I need rallying cry. Help me. There's the barf. There's the barf. Oh, I got interrupted. Alright, so the lady is almost down. She's down to 100k. So this fight is also really, really cool for arms warriors, because it's just an execute fight at the end there. The lady is sitting down at really, really low amounts of HP for the rest of the fight. Okay, I need to get away from everyone. When this expires, it spreads to everyone, so can't be anyone near you when it expires. Okay, we're good now. The old ignore pain was 60% for 4 seconds. The old one, you mean the one that they put in BfA, or you mean like the one in Legion? Because the one that was in BfA was 60% for 4 seconds based on the amount of rage that you have. So it was kind of like a rune tap. If you've ever played Death Knights, they have those 2 charges of rune tap which stop incoming damage for a few seconds. It was kind of like that. Like, hey, I know I'm going to be getting hit right now. Like, all the mobs are not stunned. All the mobs are going to be actively hitting me. Let me throw this on here. I'm going to die to these guys. I don't know who pulled them all. But yeah, the old one in an old BfA client, the first time they nerfed it, was, yeah, 60% for 4 seconds. Which was kind of, it was really weird. But it was at least, you could work around it. The way that it scaled, though, like, it wasn't very clear what the formula was for how much rage it ate in comparison to how much damage you were taking. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? Alright, waiting for the res, waiting for everybody to get here. And we'll be good. We'll be able to run on in. Alright, everybody's here. Alright, this boss is pretty straightforward. He just starts summoning ads and more ads and more ads. And the soft enrage is just kill him before all the ads kill your tank. Because your tank has a really nerf version of ignore pain. So that's why you need it. That's why you need to kill him before. Alright, let's throw ignore pain on there. I wish the weaker was working too, to where I could actually see the size of the ignore pain, but as of right now, it just, for some reason, that function of being able to see absorb amount just isn't working. I think maybe this new version of ignore pain doesn't actually use the formula or the text of absorb amount, even though it is absorbing a certain amount. It says here preventing as opposed to absorbing, so I think it's to keep us off of the healing meters. But yeah, it's gonna, I don't know, I don't code in Lua, so I don't know how else to code that. Alright, let's see. Barf time. There it is. It's hitting for like 60 damage. Perfect. They'll never know what hit him, guys. It's like the Exorcist movie. Just hit him as soon as they go into the room. Nice. Give me some loot. No loot. We got really lucky with loot in the first few dungeons that we actually ran. You ran Heroic and Taurus last night for the first time. You cleared 4 out of 11. You formed. Nice, man. Nice. Congratulations. Guys, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Wait, let me also adjust this. That's better. Alright, guys, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. You guys didn't riot, did you? Perfect. Whoops. That was the wrong setting. All right, let's try some more. Actually, let's see if anyone's doing a mythic dungeon. No, everybody's doing old deer testing. Did they add keystones? Actually, let me... If they added keystones, we'll form our own mythic dungeon group. I want to say I saw something about keystones coming soon. Oh no, there's just a new keystone affix. Infested. Oh, they do more damage when they're injured and reduce unhealthy. Okay, never mind. So nothing. Okay, let's find another heroic. Actually, this gives me such a minimal amount. Let's do specifics that we haven't done already. So we haven't done a Taldazar, haven't done Freehold, Shrine of the Storm, no. Motherlode, yes. And we did Toldagor, right, guys? I think so. I mean, I think we didn't. Taldazar, perfect. It was more fun than normal for me. The group was very organized and executed properly. Very cool. You rage on the inside, though. Brian, I'm glad to hear that your first foray into heroic and Taurus was fun. I find it fun too. It depends on the group of people you go with. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but sometimes it's a lot of fun. All right. Come on, ignore pain. I don't think there's anything else. This is going to reduce the cooldown on Avatar, Last Stand, Shield Wall, Demo Shout. That's fine. Demo Shout with Booming Voice is going to help me get that Rage up. This is the new Avatar way to go. I could go with Crackling Thunder too, but I do like the Bounding Stride. Whoa. Whoa, why didn't it take me in? You must be level 120 to enter Toldagor on heroic difficulty. What? Let me show you guys. Look at that. You must be 120 to enter Toldagor on heroic. What are you talking about, Blizzard? Blizzard, what? Oh wait, everybody's getting the same error. Fingers crosses for Mount? No, apparently not. So they broke all the dungeons in this patch? Alright. Everybody's getting the same error I am. Okay. You recorded the whole thing. You were able to upload one of the two videos today, but they're like 28 gigs each. What do you record with, Brian? With OBS or with Fraps? Am I running Indom instead of Bolster? Yes, JP, I am. No, I don't want to find another player. Bug report. Alright, that's the bug. Let's run it in. So, JP, the reason I'm not running Indom, the reason I am running Indom is because we got Ignore Pain back, which is on the global cooldown. So if I try to maintain Bolster, Ignore Pain, and Shield Block while trying to do Shield Slams and Thunderclaps and everything, with my global cooldown, it's just too much. There's no way you can get everything going on that global cooldown. Okay, so I think I can leave it without getting... Yes, perfect. So I won't queue up for Toldagor. Let's queue up for everything else. So yeah, since I can't run everything all together, there's no way I can maintain Bolster and Ignore Pain and Shield Block, since they all cost Rage, and they're all on the global cooldown except for Shield Block. I'm running Indom to free up my global cooldowns, and point for point, the only way that Bolster is better than this Ignore Pain is if I take about 130,000 damage in the window of Bolster. So Bolster lasts 10 seconds. I need to take 130,000 damage in 10 seconds in order for Bolster to outperform Ignore Pain per point of rage that I spend on it. So even though this new Ignore Pain isn't good, and I'm not crazy about it, I don't like it, it's still doing way better than Bolster was. Bolster was like a really bad band-aid on something that we needed a bigger ability on. Sorry guys, I have like a hair on my face and I see it sometimes. It's like creeps up on my eyeball. Alright, all we need is what? Do we need a healer? We just need a deeps. We just need a deeps for our heroic dungeon. But yeah, I basically do it running Indom right now to free up my globals, because without it, it just gets very hectic. Oh hey, I also am running uh-oh. What did I do? Did I equip something? No, I'm good. I'm also having enchanting, so I DE all these things that I get. And I do need a transmog, but I don't have the transmog mount yet. This is my haste set for raid testing, so I have a lot of different sets of gear. Also, if you guys are a patron or a sponsor of the channel, you guys can check the community Discord, the sponsor section, for the new Patreon video, or you can log into your Patreon and go ahead and check it out there. But the new video is up. It's detailing everything that Azerite gear is, how it works, what it offers, what it isn't, what it should be offering, its fallbacks, its positive, negatives, everything like that. So Azerite gear, that's the new Patreon video you guys can check out. You do have hair on your face. It's called a beard. Yeah, but this one was like trying to get into my eyeball. I saw it. Only thing is my glasses like kung fu'd it off. Do I think it's better than Never Surrender? Never Surrender seems super bad, especially since Shield Block exists. Yeah, Never Surrender is terrible. Never Surrender gives us 30% block chance if we're dying. I don't want to be dying. As a tank, I shouldn't become tanky at 10%, you know? And right now my block is at 28, so it'll double my block, but Never Surrender is not going to do anything against someone who's ranged or a caster. So it's one of those things that Indomitable applies to every situation. Bolster applies to everything that's physical. Never Surrender only applies to very specific blockable physical melee attacks that are in front of you. And that's the thing too with Never Surrender, they have to be in front of you to be blocked. But you also have to be dying. I shouldn't have to die to become a tank. I just don't think that's how tanks should be designed. It might be Ian as an invisible flying gnome watching. He once made a joke about that. He made a joke that he's an invisible flying gnome? I want to see this. Underrot. That last boss is a very, very difficult boss. Also guys, if you do still want warriors to change a little bit more, I highly suggest that you go ahead and tweet at the developers and let them know what you guys want. Playing bug dungeon roulette? Oh, apparently then Toldagor is not the only one that's bugged. Some of the other ones are going to be bugged too. Okay. Let me pull this one right here. This matron is a hassle. She hits very, very hard. Savage cleave. Man, matron, that cleave was savage. Alright, these ticks do a lot of physical damage. They each apply a bleed to me, and I'm gonna die. Let's see how much damage this does. Heal! 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 Oh no! There it is. Each blood burst bursts for 20,000 shadow damage every time we kill one of them. That's a new mechanic. That's brand new. So killing 6 of them and everybody's dead. So these ticks have a bursting affix on them built in. You don't even need to actually burst. Oh, and our healer can't die because he can't release right now. Cool. The top quote on this page, if you're Google Watcher Dev on WoW, read the top quote. Nice. The man is evil. I believe it, man. I believe it. I believe that he's evil. He's killing my warrior class. He's trying to get me to re-roll. Only an evil person would do that. Trying to re-roll from a class that was like average at best. Oh no. Oh no, here come the bursting ticks. Alright, rip. Here we go. We're gonna go down to this. Shadow damage incoming! Spell Reflect. The new Spell Reflect, by the way. Spell Reflect only does 15% now. I stayed alive? I stayed alive. I'll understand once I read the quote. Oh, okay. I have to look him up on Wowpedia. I'll look it up. WoW Gamespedia. Watcher Dev. Watcher Ian. With the Eye of Cthulhu. Wait. The priest was gonna heal everybody? No, let's not. Oof. I'm dying. Heal. Okay, Victory Rush. Kept me alive. You guys remember when Shield Slime used to remove a buff? Those are the days. I had to get a lay on hands in order to survive. I think Ian is like Thanos, guys. We just need to accept it. Some people just want to watch the world burn. It's funny too because Ian is actually a mythic raider. Like, he raids at the highest level, but a lot of times he does the changes. Like, the change from master loot to personal loot is gonna affect his guild a lot, and it's gonna affect his guild more than it's gonna affect the large majority of all of us. And he's like, no, we need to completely nerf this. This is what needs to happen. I don't know how that guy blew up everything, but that spirit just did a big AoE. Let me look up Gamespedia. Alright, let's jump in here. I'll look up the Gamespedia after this. Alright, the Sanguine Feast. Gotta run out for that. You have enough time to charge in and actually run out. Oh no, it got cancelled. I was gonna reflect the blood bolt back to. Oh, this is a new heroic mechanic here. I haven't done all of these on heroic, so some of these things are catching me off guard too. The Sanguine Feast sometimes is a little bit more difficult to see. There's a Blood Mirror. It's still got Blood Mirror off. Are we going to be able to do anything about it? I think we can nuke her before anything. Yeah, perfect. Watcher Dev. Google Watcher Dev. I'm trying to... Mythic mode? What? I looked it up on... I don't know what you're talking about. It shows up as Mythic mode, James. When I look up Watcher Dev on WoW Gamespedia. Alright, we got all these ticks here. They're gonna blow me up. They're gonna blow me up. So, what I need to do is run away from them. Get away from me. Blow up. Blow up. Over there. Far. Oh. Okay, so the blood bursts are big AoE. I thought they were just a very small AoE around him. Nope. I tried running away. Yeah, guys, you guys can't run away. It's 100 yards. Oh, okay. "100 yards. Yeah, I can't get away from that. Imagine these with bursting affix. Somebody just said in my group. It's gonna be rough.
Oh, do I have a deal for you?
Let's just sell all this junk. Yeah, James, I'm looking it up, and I don't know what we're talking about here. Alright, let's keep pulling. You do have to, as much as you can, doing a pre-avatar before you pull is very beneficial to you as a prot warrior right now. And that's just because it generates 20 rage when you use it. It also opens up your rotation by giving you a thunderclap every other global. Sometimes we're literally watching, sometimes you could be fighting a dragon, there can be invisible gnome flying mid-air looking down at you. Oh man. Only gnomes, no other races, watching your every move, laughing you when you wipe. Yeah, I looked up Watcher Dev and it said, "Do you want to create the page for Watcher Dev on Wowpedia?" I even looked up Ian Hazakosas, and I was like, no, I don't know what that is. I know that have any of you guys ever seen a GM, by the way? When I would submit tickets back in like Vanilla and Burning Crusade, I would always ask them if I could see them so I could see GM robes, but they would always tell me no. But every now and then I had glitches that were specific to my area, and then they would say one moment and I was like, they teleported to me. You used to be able to do a /who GM Island as well and see if anyone was in GM Island, and I was able to find a few people who were currently like on GM Island at that moment. And it was like, I caught the GMs. I know their in-game names, but if I whisper them, does that mean that they're gonna ban me? Never did whisper them. But you used to be able to do /who GM Island. Alright, let's pull the boss. Actually, let's pull this guy because this is a caster, and the boss throws a tantrum where he charges like to a random location, so, or in a random direction of a player. So if I pull him over here and he charges this way, somebody's gonna get him to pull these guys. So I'd rather just pull him now. Alright, let's pull the boss. Alright, so we got shield block up. Ignore pain is down. Let's step on all these things. Perfect. I do have help from my my party members too, which is very, very crucial during this boss fight. Because if not, you're just left stomping out all these things by yourself. And apparently the ticks have bursting. Alright, I'm ready to throw up on this boss. Let's do it. There it is. All the barf. Throwing a tantrum. Let's just step on these things. Not today. Not today. Uh-oh, the ticks are coming alive. I wonder if these do blow up like the other ones we were fighting. I hope not, but I wouldn't doubt it. We're doing heroic here. Nice. Defeated the boss before we could find out. I think boots I needed. Yes, I do. Actually, the ones I have are very, very similar because they're from glitched War Quest back in the day. As soon as you hit 120, you could get some World Quest items that had like 3 secondary stats on them. So then they would scale up really, really, really heavily. But that doesn't exist anymore. Uh-oh. So this maggot here also does like a frontal barf ability that hurts a ton. So we need to try to not let anyone die to that. I heard you like bursting, so we put some bursting on your bursting. Yeah, they're adding new affixes, so the new one's gonna be bursting on bursting. Bursting for 20 seconds, so that you have to split your kills by 20 seconds. Oh man, the hunter set his pet all the way over there to attack this thing. It's alright, we gotta ignore pain. It's fine. We don't even know what pain is. The hunter said, "What is my pet doing all the way over there?" Alright, this last guy, no big deal. Let's just keep going. Is this a mob? Is this where the worms come out of now? Yes, it is. Okay, they changed the way that looks too. It used to be like a dark circle on the ground. Alright, so we're going to pull this. A worm is going to come up right here, but I need to target this defiler for sure. The defiler is going to do this curse right here. I want to interrupt it as quickly as possible. I don't know if you guys even saw that. That was like, you need to interrupt it as soon as it goes off. It just does a lot of AoE damage. You don't need ignore pain as a warrior in BfA when you're already dead on the inside. It's very true. They just keep taking things away. I was going to edit another video of the ending of Old Yeller, which, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen Old Yeller in the 50 years that it's been out, they killed the dog at the end. And so I wanted to put the warrior icon on top of Old Yeller and then just have Ian pull the trigger and just kill warriors. Just be like, this is it. This is how the warriors go out, guys. Alright, so this guy, I need to target his shockwave into the mushrooms. Because these mushrooms blow up and then they cause like extra things. So here's a shockwave. I destroyed only 2 mushrooms. I thought I was going to be able to cleave the other 2. Damn it. You thought he went to live in a farm upstate? No, I'm sorry. He got rabies, and then it was all downhill from there, man. Poor little Yeller. He didn't know what hit him. And so here's the harvest. So this is, does he heal himself? I'm not sure if he heals himself on that harvest caster. He does a lot of AoE damage. That's what I know. We get stacks, but I don't know if actually it's a heal as well. Alright, come on. Shockwave right here. Uh-oh. Not that. Let's shield wall for this one. But come on, you gotta shockwave me. There it is. I don't want you to harvest all of these mushrooms. Just some of them. Perfect. Alright, at this point, we're getting down to the last boss. How is the warrior feeling with ignore pain back? Not very good, man. The new ignore pain is nerfed a lot. So the new ignore pain only does 500% of your attack power. The current Ignore Pain in Legion does 2,800% of your attack power. So this new Ignore Pain has been nerfed by 2,300%, and it's on the global cooldown. So it still feels slow and clunky because it's still on the global. And if you're also trying to run Bolster at the same time, Bolster is on the global cooldown, Ignore Pain is on the global cooldown, but so are your Rage Generators. So your global cooldown just has 1,000,001 things that need to be done with it. So it's very difficult to find what thing you need to do properly. There's just too many abilities. So you basically just don't run Bolster. But yeah, the new Ignore Pain, very, very much nerfed in comparison to how it is. And it's better than Bolster. It mitigates more damage than Bolster, but that doesn't mean it's good. Most of the times that you get Ignore Pain up, it disappears within about 2 seconds. It'll be about 2 seconds before it expires, before you take the amount of damage required for it to expire. Feel free to make more parody videos. Lifts the mood during these times. Really, I don't want to be perceived as someone who's too negative, because I always try to offer suggestions and positive feedback and say, well, this is going completely wrong, but these are many options. I don't just give one option. I'm not like, this is how you fix it. It's like, these are all the things that are wrong with it, so here's like 6 or 7 things that you could change that could all have a very positive impact on it. But I'll keep that in mind. If you guys did like those that video of how Prot Warriors are slowly dying by the hands of Ian, I can do more like that. Every now and then I have an idea. I think it's important to provide feedback right now. That's the important thing. Why not put everything on the global cooldown? Then WoW could be entirely turn-based. Yes. So one of the things that I stated in my global cooldown video was that the action reaction thing that they said in the Q&A, they had the Q&A and they said WoW is an action reaction game. I stated that that's more for traditional RPGs. That's more for turn-based RPGs. WoW is action-based combat. There's no room for a very slow-paced turn-based system here. But if they do want it to be action reaction and they want to slow down the game, which is what they said they want to do, they want to slow down the game, then they need to slow down the whole game. Why are there cast times that are less than the global cooldown from an NPC? How come an NPC can make things happen that are too fast for me to ever to be able to react to it? So if they want to actually slow the game, they need to slow down the whole game. Now, I don't want it to happen because I don't like slowing down this game. I don't think that's the solution. But if they want to slow down the game, they got to slow down on the NPCs too. So in the new raids that they're gonna make, they need to make the cast times from the bosses minimum of like 3 seconds to give us ability to respond. All of the particles that fly at us need to fly at a slower speed, like the guy that we just did with the mushrooms. All those particles that fly at us, they need to fly at half speed. If you're gonna slow down the game, then slow down the game. Don't just say you're slowing down the game and then don't do it. Like, slow down the game, slow it down for everyone. This includes NPCs because NPCs are part of the game. We fight the NPCs. They're as much part of it as we are. The way we kill this guy, by the way, is by killing these blood visages here. And then the reason I keep tabbing is because there's so much damage going out. These spores have 1 HP, so I can proc Victory Rush by just doing a thrown weapon at those guys. So I can have a 15% heal ready as long as I kind of like passively cleave them. Oh man. And every now and then they're already all cleaved down, so it takes a little bit more for me to be able to reach them and to actually do damage to them. The hunter keeps barraging them, which is perfect. In live, you're gonna need that. Once everybody's balanced, you're gonna need that. For right now, I feel like I need it. Alright, we just need to keep taking out these guys. Every time we take out one of these blood visages, I believe the boss loses 10% of HP, so we just need to take out 10 of them. By the way, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's too much damage. The stacks are getting high. I need more healing. Oh no, everybody's dead except for me and the healer. Alright. I don't know what else I could be doing. The NPC isn't even helping us here. So this NPC is supposed to be targeting these bloods as well and hitting them. He's not. Okay, well, we went down. Castiel, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you. Go slow or go home. I agree. If they said that they want to slow down the game, that they should slow it all down. Although I don't think that's the right course of action for the game. I don't think slowing down the game is doing anyone a favor at all. I think it's I think Legion, in terms of combat and like rotations and how classes played, I think Legion was very good. The worst part about Legion, and the biggest negative, was the legendary system. Now they got rid of it. BfA has no legendaries. Azerite gear can't Titan Forge or Warforge, so we get rid of a little bit of that RNG. So the biggest drawbacks of Legion are being removed. So there's no need to do stuff like slow the game down or change all of these abilities. Get rid of like the artifact abilities or anything. We could become empowered with the artifact abilities, but like you have all these things that are changing that didn't need to be addressed. Legion was a very good expansion in terms of combat. The numbers just need to get tuned down for world PvP a little bit, but yeah. Is the NPC that's not helping called Ian? Ha ha ha. The evil possibilities for affixes are endless. Yeah, if only Ignore Pain would have helped me get through that one all the way. That would have been nice. I didn't have enough self-healing. My self-healing was actually pretty good that fight, only because, look at that, I was doing 30% of the healing. And only because of those spores. That should be my my Azerite trait. I spawn 1 HP spores that only I can see, and then I'll cleave them, get more victory rush procs. Alright. Our healer is somewhere far, far away. Where is he? Okay. Yeah. The NPC... Mr. Titan Keeper Hezrel Hezrel has it close. Oh, we got Warlock cookies. I don't have the Warlock cookies on my bars. I don't think I have room for in my bars anywhere. I have PvP talent points. All right. Healer is here. We can get a pull going. Let's give it a shot. The NPCs are WoW are always useless when it matters the most. You've seen Thrall get his butt handed to him many times. No, I think the worst offender of that is Velen. Velen in any of the tanking mage towers. Like, come on, Velen. You're supposed to like be powerful enough to heal all your people and to make them find glory, and all of a sudden it's like you're just standing there. Come on, Velen. Heal me. Dude, come on. Even in Antorus, too. In Antorus, Velen and Illidan just stand at the bridge, and there's nothing there. There's like 5 things there. Alright, I do want that guy to take out some of those ads. I think if I hit taunt on the ads... Oh no, he does come over. See, he was glitched last time. There it is. We were missing his DPS. That's all we needed. Alright, we're gonna need to purify. Come on. Cleanse my stacks. I'm dying here, man. I'm dying. Alright, I got my healing back up. Come on, let me get one more victory rush. Okay, we're good, we're good. Let me throw up a little bit. Alright, ignore pain. So I'd much rather invest a global cooldown into Victory Rush because it heals me for 15% of my HP, but Ignore Pain only does 8% of my HP. So I am prioritizing the healing first. Alright, I need Rallying Cry here. I need Rallying Cry. We're not gonna get this boss down. I'm way too low. Everybody's really low, actually. It's not just me. Oh, this guy stopped. The NPC stopped doing things. Look at that. The NPC is just standing there. Come on, guy. Yeah, with that guy just standing there, we're not gonna be able to do anything. We need his deeps. Look at him. Guy, come on. Alright, they rezzed us. Let's try. Let's try. I don't know if the DPS is actually switching onto the Bloods. Okay, come on. We just need to keep healing ourselves. Alright, let's do an Ignore Pain. Come on! Let me live! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, here it is. Ah. How close was the boss? I actually didn't even see. Oh, people are leaving. People are rage quitting. Yeah, that boss is not going to happen right now. The NPC stop helping. Oh man. Ian is watching you, Holy. Ian is a small gnome floating behind you, IRL. Alright, let's try another dungeon. For sure, Brian, for sure. No worries. The NPCs in WoW are always useless. Self-heals, I tried. Why is this adventure guide marked? What? Alright, Underrot, get out of here. They do still have Mythic Islands up, by the way. Look at that. This is how the island queuing system looks. That's not convoluted at all. I don't understand why they have 27 options there. Alright, is there anyone looking for a Mythic? No, they're all Mythic raid testing, which I've heard is going splendid. Alright, this is actually a really cool dungeon. I do like it. The last boss is really cool. The DPS gets split up from the healer and the tank. DPS have to do a lot of interrupting, and the healer and the tank have to do damage, so switches the roles a little bit there.
Must not claim this prize. All who oppose us will fall. Let the hunt begin.
Alright, so the only elite guy I believe is this Pat. Yeah. So he'll come over here right now. Come over here, guy. And ignore pain. How long is that going to be? Alright, 4 seconds, 5, 6 seconds. Oh, he's doing a cast. Nice. That ignore pain lasted all the way through. I'm telling you, this is it. Peak warrior performance. I'm just knocking these guys out. You guys see that? It's amazing. Did the mage actually make a table? Not sure. Wasn't checking. The healer was asking for one though. Let's pull this guy by himself. Since he buffs up anyone within 10 yards of himself, pulling the other guy is just going to be no damage. That's all it means. There's the frontal. But yeah, this guy's got this thing. So the more you pull, the more he helps. And then, actually for this pull, if you get a rogue to sap this first guy, you can run right past him. Alright. Let's do this. Just make sure you ignore pain as much as possible. These are casters, so at this point, shield block offers nothing. But we got ignore pain back, guys. We can mitigate all the magic damage. Water blast? No thanks. Yeah, so I really do hope that they do change some things with ignore pain. If they make it scale a little bit heavier. I mean, I think at this point the devs are admitting defeat, that warriors need something. There's not enough time for them to find a new fix. So they're going with what we know. They're going with ignore pain. It wasn't broke, so they're going to stop trying to fix it. So that's a good thing. They've admitted that it's going to be ignore pain. Now they just kind of need to admit that the old ignore pain didn't make us overpowered, and that's what we need. They're nerfing our rage generation, so they shouldn't be too worried about anything else. Playing a prot warrior by spamming ignore pain doesn't fit the class fantasy, but it's the one thing that we know right now that is working. So I think they're kind of slowly tapping out, and if during the next few builds we slowly get the devs to see our point of bringing back ignore pain exactly to how it was, I think we'll be okay. Off the global, offering as much scaling as it did with attack power in current, I think that's what we need. If you pull these guys, they don't all pull together, actually. At least I didn't think they did. I've pulled this a few times, and they can be pulled separate. That's weird. Unless somebody just passively cleaved them. Oh no, the mage has not made water. The guy's still asking for water. Also, if you guys want to join in on the conversation of tweeting to the devs and trying to get changes done, make sure to follow me on my Twitter. That's where I make a lot of these posts where I'm telling the devs to, you know, change this or change that, or linking them my videos as feedback. I'm just being like, this is my take on it. This is what I think you guys can change it, because trying to do things in a few hundred characters sometimes just doesn't work out. So linking them to any kind of feedback. There's plenty of water in the dungeon too. There is plenty of water in the dungeon. This is the water dungeon. All water moves. A water elemental with Cthulhu tentacles. Look at that. This is the last boss from Sonic, guys. He made it. This is the most ambitious crossover in history. Just knocking down all of the mirror images. Good thing is, oh, I got knocked off the edge. That's not the good thing. I can't even be B-res down here. What a noob. This is what's holding Warriors back. Me playing them. It's not anything else. God. Good thing is that if they build Ignore Pain with Bolster as suggested by Jen, yes, earlier, they win by fixing the class fantasy. They're obsessed with the building all around. They should make an underwater dungeon. No, nerds. No, they shouldn't. Then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, what's your keystone this week?" I got the underwater keystone. Oh, you should delete it. Yeah, you should delete it. It's terrible. Hopefully, I get loot from that boss. Falling off the edge. I think each boss drops 2 pieces of gear. I only saw 1 so far. Come on, give me a piece of gear. A 365? That Warforged 40 item levels up. Or Titanforge, rather. No, I didn't get any gear. Heroic leap fail right there. I looked down to read. I didn't think I could get knocked off the platform. So I looked down to read, and then it was like, nope. Get out of here, kid. Bug found. I should have submitted the bug. And been like, for some reason, I fell off the edge, but clearly I shouldn't be able to. I don't know what's going on here. Underwater dungeon. Go play entirety of Val'sharah. Yeah, I remember when they first introduced Val'sharah, I was like, hey, Underwater Zone, World of Warcraft. I trust this developer. They probably did it right. Let's see. I'm gonna pick that way to level up instead of going to what was the other way of leveling up? I forgot what the other zone was, but I was like, yeah, let me test it out. Underwater Zone. I trust this developer. And then I did it, and I was like, I hate this. Never coming back here again. What's up, Shari? How you doing? Those guys are all non-elites. They got pulled before I even jumped in, so it's okay. They can bounce around. I don't feel too bad when non-elites bounce around. Alright, so these guys are going to be encumbering themselves. They do this, which increases the physical damage they deal, but they hamstring themselves, so you can just kite these all day. Mount Hydril? Yes. Yes, that was the choice. Alright, global cooldown for Ignore Pain. Feels bad, man. And so here we have the big hulking guy who's going to slow himself. He's hitting me for a little bit more damage, but at this point, it's just one of him. I can stay here and just take it. Perfect, he's dead. Okay, so I don't want to pull this whole room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them back because there's some other mobs on the right-hand side. So we only have... Uh-oh. Okay, we all need to stand in here. Let me pull him out of here. Get out of here, guy. So you need to pull that mob out of the ward, and then everybody needs to run into the ward. It reduces the damage you take by 75%, targets a random person, and then nukes them. Hyjal just had so much more story that people wanted. That's true. But Val'sharah was underwater. Like, who doesn't... Yeah, no, nobody wanted that. I tried it. and it was like, I don't want to do this again. I leveled up through it once. That was it. Nice. Taking care of business. We can skip this other trash over on the right hand side, those guys, by just pretending not to look at them. Because if you look at them at all, you're done. Oh no, somebody pulled the elemental too. This elemental does giant AoE elemental damage, magic damage. He's unstunnable, uninterruptible, just everything that's him. That's him right here. So AS is really gonna hurt. One person's down already. Probably not gonna be the only person because we still have the other ads up. They should have a dungeon like Horde Stars where specialists were valued, but make it class based. That'd be cool. But the thing about dungeons like that is now that we have the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, those dungeons are going to become less and less likely because there's always going to be one build that's going to be best for it. So those dungeons that have a million different paths you can take with all the different classes and professions, they're more and more rare because of the wanting to make it a tournament. The more you try to make something a tournament, the more standardized it has to be. It has to be equal and fair for as many people as you can make it. So is Ignore Pain still better than Bolster, or Bolster still wins? I'm seeing you're getting wrecked. Oh, Ignore Pain is way better. So the only way that Bolster wins, Bolster has an uptime of 10 seconds. The only way that Bolster wins is if you take more than 130,000 damage in 10 seconds. So if you see my HP pool, I have 150,000. So if I were to take almost like 70% of my HP as damage in 10 seconds, then Bolster is better. Only at that point. I did the calculations of how effective it is per point of rage. That is the only time it wins. Anything less than 130,000 damage in the Bolster window, Ignore Pain is better. The only problem Ignore Pain has is that it eats all the rage. Bolster just reduces each point of rage by 5%. So Ignore Pain just kind of disappears after a while. Like you pop it and then it just lasts a few seconds and it goes away. So it looks like Ignore Pain does less because it lasts less, but that's just because it takes a lot more of the damage up front. Elementals, Amoth Souls, Lantern, Doom, Fortified? Yes. That's exactly how to relate it. The only Tauren can bust open a shortcut, or gnomes can go under a small... Oh, yeah, for the new exclusive dungeon. Yeah, that'd be cool. Designing something like that. Healer's got food. We're... Whoa, 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 whoa. Barfing everywhere. That trinket. I thought I still had Avatar ready to go, but no, I did not. Alright, this guy's gonna cleave the hell out of me. This guy always hurts. This is one of those dungeons where it's like, there's not much I can do about it. You do want to stand in the ward that gets created on the ground, though. Let's see, where is it? Not that ward. There's going to be a green ward that gets made on the ground. Come on. This guy needs to make it. Here it is, reinforcing ward. Let's go over there. This clears your stacks, so you want to stand in it. I believe you also need to kill the caster first. If you kill the melee guy first, I think they glitch out at the moment. So that's just something specific to the beta. And then this thing gives you a ton of haste if you stand near it. Like this guy, the brother, he's right outside of it. He's not getting a haste buff, but I am. I do want to stand inside that ward, clear my stacks. And then he cleaved me. What do I think if Blizz takes out IP and Bolster and puts Shield Block as a regular rage use ability like Vanilla WoW? Yeah, if Shield Block had no charges and you could just use it whenever you wanted to, that would also work too. I don't think it's the perfect solution because there's a lot of magic damage, and then every time they design a dungeon, they design it so that not everything is blockable. So not the perfect solution, because we would only be really good at blockable damage. If we talk about a boss doing range damage or a physical hit that is not blockable, we'd be like assed out. So not perfect, but it would be a lot better. If they gave Spell Reflect back its 50% magic mitigation and then gave us the ability to use shield block whenever, that might work. Uh-oh. Swiftness ward. There's not very many people alive left. We're all taking a ton of these stacks. We need to like try to interrupt it and try to delay it as much as possible. I need to just ignore pain is my only hope at this point, because this is all 100% magic damage. And there's not much interrupting going on here. Come on. That's all I got. We need to do 20,000 damage. Oh, we did it. Oh, barely. Is this an upgrade? No, crit mastery. Not very good for me. I want that haste, and I want that... Well, I want mastery too, but the haste I have in mind right now, perfectly fine. Blizzard did say bring the class, not the player. Why not bring the race? I think that'd be too much, but if they find a way to balance it, yeah. Wait, they're saying that this warrior is insane. Why am I insane? Somebody said that I'm insane. I don't understand. Why do I think, oh yeah, doing the shield block thing, that might work. It ruined us completely, unless we get resistances back from vanilla. Yeah, resistances would be something else that could be used for the game, but I think they want to stay away from everybody having 3 or 4 different gear sets, so it's like, what are we running today? Antorus? I need to bring Fire Resist. What are we running today? Nighthold? I need to bring Arcane Resist. I think they wanted to make that change a long time ago, so that's why they got rid of it. What's up, Chris Thomas? You just got your Prot Warrior and Prot Pally to 120. Nice. What do you think so far? You need to start grinding out the gear, and you can queue up for random heroics now via just the regular system. That was introduced this patch, so now it's easier to gear up. It's easier to gear up. You can just do it via LFG, man. Once you start running into heroics, I want to know what you think, Chris, about the tanks in heroic. So once you start doing those heroics, like drop a comment or something in one of the videos. Let me know what you think, because I also have a paladin I'm leveling up, and it's like very different. Can I show you my haste at the moment? Yeah, haste right now is 13%, and the reason it's so bad is because Azerite gear has no secondary stats. So your helmet, your shoulders, and your chest have no secondary stats. No haste, no verse, no crit, no mastery, nothing. It doesn't exist right now. And I don't know if that's by design, because they haven't said anything about it. They haven't said, hey, this is messed up, we need to do this to it. That might be by design. So as far as we know, that's just the way it's supposed to be. Wow, everybody died. Alright. You're insane because I'm a warrior willingly? Yeah, that's probably why. The Waycrest Manor dungeon was laggy. Yeah, a lot of dungeons right now are very laggy. Even when I'm streaming to you guys, I see a lot of frames drop. A lot of them. Healing Spheres got buffed, but it's still pretty weak. That's good. You guys, monks they got nerfed with that. What makes monks really good is stagger, and at least that hasn't been touched. A few other things have been touched, and there's been a few nerfs, but what makes you guys great is that stagger, and at least that's still there. They'll put stamina on the Azurite armor just to screw with us. No, okay, so Azurite armor has stamina and strength. Has your primary stats. And armor. That's it, though. Look at this. There's no secondary stats. So this isn't an Azurite piece. You see how it doesn't have the little wings on it? So I've managed to get a world quest to Warforge, and now it has haste and verse. So I don't mind it. The Azurite traits are pretty weak right now, so I don't mind not having that. But yeah, the reason why secondary stats are difficult to do is because these Azurite pieces just don't have it. Pally is fun, and Drustvar is your favorite zone. Yeah, me too. So far in leveling up, Drustvar is up there, man. I like the feel of it. It feels more like a classic RPG with the whole like witch hunt thing that they do. It feels really, really cool. I liked it. But yeah, Azurite armor needs secondary stats, I feel. There's a lot of classes that, like, if we talk about fire mages, if we talk about like shadow priests, if we talk about boomkins, if there's large majority of classes have certain secondary stats that they need at certain points, right? Like protection warriors, you want 30% haste. You want as much crit for fire mages as possible. Above 40% is probably your minimum. There's a lot of things that you need for certain classes, and right now it's impossible to get there. Impossible, because of Azurite gear just not having secondary stats. And it feels like it's done on purpose, because in Legion they nerf secondary stats once, and they've said it a few times that they don't want secondary stats to be that heavily counted. They want your primary stats to be your focus. So I think there's going to be some issues. I think when BfA launches, there's going to be a lot of classes that are underperforming, and I think the DPS charts, like the DPS rankings, they're going to be really, really messed up, because we're going to have certain classes that need that mastery, that need that crit, that need that verse. They need these things, and it's not going to be in the gear. It's not going to exist. So I think when BfA launches, there's going to be a lot of tuning that needs to be done. What I really hope is that by the end of the first tier, so by the end of Uldir, we'll have enough balance to counteract that. That was perfect. Nazmir was your favorite Horde zone with the lore of the blood trolls. For me, it was Zuldazar. I prefer all the dinosaurs over the old god, blood god thing. The Loa of death. Like, I prefer the dinosaurs. Then they'll put multi-strike on it and say WTF as always. Yeah. The like really big positive that I like about Azurite gear is that it can't Titan Forge and it can't Warforge. So if there's a piece of gear you like, so like let's say you like these traits, right? Let's say you want these exact traits from this chest piece, then you know that this chest piece at this item level drops from this boss on heroic or mythic or regular, whatever it is you want or need. There is a set location where you can go get it. Right now, currently live in Legion, it's like, hey, I want this piece of gear. I want the Arcano Crystal. We'll go do Withered Gym, and there's like a 2% chance that it's going to be better than the current one you have, but a 98% chance it's going to be worse. There's no way of editing the difficulty. Or if you do want something from a dungeon, it's like, well, in this dungeon, it drops base this item level, but you could get it from your weekly loot chest at this item level. It also has a really good chance of warforging. Like, there's... Getting one piece of gear has never been so difficult. We need to kill this thing before it lets him surrender to the void. Come on, perfect. So that's one thing that I do like. The fact that it can't Titan or Warforge, it feels good to know where your gear can come from. To be able to say, yeah, all I need to do is I need to go do this dungeon. Why? it has my chest piece. That chest piece has best in slot traits. That chest piece is going to be a very, very big upgrade for me. I need it if we're gonna, you know, go raid next week. Alright, so the person who's MC'd needs to collect all these orbs. And now we need to beat up the person who's MC'd. Perfect. There's still orbs up. They didn't collect all the orbs. That screwed that Blizzard killed Razan. Yeah. Well, Blizzard didn't do it. You did it. That was you. It's your fault. What new dungeon has something as annoying and as bad as a Blackroot Hold, a boulder, and stairwells? Something that's like you against the environment? I can't... There's nothing really like that. This is probably the closest thing. The jellies shock you, but they don't move. Yeah, there's nothing like that in these new dungeons. Like you against the puzzle of some kind. You're excited to see the BfA cutscenes? Yeah, I want to see those missing cutscenes. I want to see them. I'm going to try to avoid pulling these guys if I can, because they apply a stacking shadow debuff that eventually just one-shots you. And also, they go on land. So, look at this. Look at this. These are land fish. Alright. Alright. It seems like I'm going to die, guys. I'm going to die. This is what's going to happen. I just need to start kiting them. I need to start kiting them because this debuff they do is insane. Get away from me. Land fish. Okay, I can take one of them. Good morning, Chaos. Chaos, I heard that there was a lot of, like, a really big sinkhole that happened in northern New Zealand. Like a pretty massive one. Let's ignore pain and jump in. I was waiting for these guys to get closer because they all pull together no matter what you do. So these denizens need to be interrupted, or else they're just going to do a full heal every time they finish their cast bar. The Demon Hunter said that he doesn't want to interrupt anymore during this whole dungeon, so I don't think we can rely on the Demon Hunter for interrupts. So yeah. You have these landfish as a mount? Oh yeah, me too. It's from, what's her face? From Tumas Argeris. Mistress something. Right? What was her name? Alright, how's the healer? Healer's got a good amount of mana. Let's pull. For sure, Chris. I'll see you later, man. Let me know how those the tanks hold out for you, man. Let me know if you feel like one of them is a lot better than the other. I want to know what you think. All right, so here we go. We're gonna have the second phase where I have to do damage and take this guy down. This guy is doing heavy amounts of damage, but it's me and the healer, and then the DPSers are hitting one of the tentacle face guys. This guy right here. There's a tentacle face guy right behind me. They're phased in a different location, so we each have to take down our own person. Mistress, yes. Mistress Sazerine. It doesn't make it much easier to say, but yes, that's the one. Alright, so now he's gonna summon a bunch of ads. These ads, if they reach him, are gonna blow up. So I want to keep these ads away from him. So let me start pulling them across the map. Hopefully people start nuking these ads. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we've got a lot of ads up. So let me do that. It seems like, oh, one of them was about to reach him, but not today. Come on, we need a little bit more DPS on him. There's a mage. Mage isn't switching onto them. Alright, we can just take the boss down, hopefully, before the next cast. My Stormbolt, yeah, okay. My Stormbolt was still not off cooldown, so I couldn't interrupt that ad myself. No gear! Feels bad, man. And what's up, Adnistral? Ignore pain, overpowered? No, not at all. You wrote your own blockchain, nice. Those lightning balls in the snake dungeon? Oh, you're right, Brad. You're right, you're absolutely right. That is just about as frustrating as Blackroot Hold. It's in the Temple of Sethralis, or whatever it's called. Hey, someone's doing a Mythic Dungeon World Tour, but I have to join them as Deeps. Alright, let's do another heroic. We just did Shrine. We got a Tall Desire and Freehold. Using it for progression and persistence in a game you're working on. Nice. How well does the Proud Warrior do compared to other tanks right now? Not very well, Morton. Not very well, which is why I'm trying to provide as much feedback as I can to the development team and to Ian by putting out all these videos that are very focused on Proud Warriors. I'm just trying to give back as much as I can to the dev team, because right now we don't perform as well as any other tank. Alright guys, before we queue up again, give me 1 minute again. I will be right back. I'll be right back. Don't go crazy and write in the chat. Don't do it.
Get 'em!
Alright. Back. Let's do one of the last two heroics we haven't done today. Doing the good fight beta testing for the dev. I'm trying, man. If you guys check out like my Twitter, it's just all full of why Ian? I've just been tweeting to Ian specifically at like 2 in the morning. I just want to catch him sleeping. I want him to just be completely asleep. His phone buzzes and he just looks up and he's like, who the hell is this mouse icon tweeting at me? He wakes up the next day, he's like, guys, I've been like having these weird dreams. There's like this mouse and it just keeps complaining at me, keeps telling me I'm like murdering warriors. I don't even know what a prot warrior is. Like what? Wasn't that removed in Legion? Man. Make right great again? What? What are you talking about? Alright, let's go kill Rezan first. It's a very easy way to get to him by just going like this and jumping onto here and then jumping down, and that's it. Like, you don't even need to kill anything. You're at the first boss. Somebody pulled a little trash, guys. Okay, that's fine. Ian, bring back the glory days of PvE Prot Warriors again. That'd be nice. I want that. You really missed playing your Prot Warrior, but you felt you had a Guardian Druid. Nice, yeah. Guardian Druids do a sure progression. That is one thing they do. If you want to, like, stay up to date with everything that they're doing to Warriors, because we still have 2 months of them being able to change things. I mean, just stay tuned to the channel, man. I'm gonna be playing my Prot Warrior no matter what happens. He might not be my main, but I'm gonna be playing my Prot Warrior no matter what happens. So if you want to find out how Prot Warriors are doing, just, you know, stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Every single time there's a change, I'm gonna be on it. I hope nobody steps on these bones. Please don't step on those bones. Nice. Oh, we stepped on these bones. Okay. Alright, let me move him back. Come on. Come this way. Come this way. Come on. You need to go back in your corner. Evil dinosaur. Alright, I'm not playing an undead. I don't have 2 fear immunities. Perfect. Alright. Hiki Monk? Is this Ian Hikimosis Monk? What? Ian is here, guys. Ian is here. Ian is in this group. He's listening. I need to die. I'm just gonna flop over and die and be like, you see, Prot Warriors, fix them. Alright, boss is down. Give me a Titan Forge shield. Is it upgraded? Because I think I have the regular version of it. It is not, and I do have the regular version of it. It's good to know that they're listening, at least, as stubborn as they are. Yes. They realize that removing Ignore Pain was a mistake. So that's one step in the right direction. One step out of many. I would say we need about 4 or 5 more steps in the right direction. You just sold about 1 mil. What? Brian, do you guys need more salesmen? I'll do commercials for you guys. I'll edit the videos for you guys, and it'll be like, have you ever bought software from Brian? I'll do all the editing. I'll be like, hey guys, welcome back. Today we've got a really good deal for you on software. You're hoping for a glorious revert to mop one day, free revenge that generates rage on shield barrier. That'd be nice. It'd be nice to actually have abilities that do more than one thing. Most other tanks do. Most other tanks, like Soul Cleave, Spirit Bomb, does passive healing. It does damage. Death Strike does damage and healing. You know, Heart Strike is passive cleave and generates your secondary stat. You know, most tanks have something that do more than one thing. They help them be a little bit tanky and a little bit offensive. Warriors are the only thing that have a very clear distinction between the two. Why can't we? This guy still has this buff. We killed his totem, but he still has the totem buff. Dungeon is glitched. Does he ever respond? Barf, he has not responded yet, but I have my hopes up. I'm hoping that if I bother him enough, he'll say in one of the developer Q&As like, hey, Befuddled, shut up already, okay? I just want one little thing there like that. I think this guy might be glitched, by the way. Yes, Befuddled, I know, Prot Warriors. It's coming in a Q&A. Shut up already. God, this guy thinks that Prot Warriors are the only tanks. I don't know if the honor guards can die. Nope. Honor guards cannot die right now. This is completely glitched. These honor guards continue having the buff of their totem. Yeah, these guys, I might as well they just have to kill me. Let's just reset everything. Maybe it'll reset their totems or something? I don't know. Simple question, is Prot Warrior still fun? Not right now, Mr. T. Not right now. I'll tell you this way, Mr. T. When I was first gearing up and I went from endgame quest level gear to trying to do heroics, after about 5 or 6 hours, I got so frustrated I went arms for like 3 hours. So, yeah, it can be frustrating. Why are they still fighting? It's glitched. Just die. Let's let them reset. No Legos again, only a Pexis crystal? Does the pillar still not work? I don't know. I don't think so. A lot of dungeons are broken right now. They had a patch go out late last night, and it glitched out a lot of dungeons. Okay, the priest extra pulled because the guy over there is tanking with his dog, so the priest extra pulled so that they could go down. That's fine. And did I do the trick to get my undead unstuck? So sad. Yes, I did. So that's how I found out about that trick. I was really close to deleting my character. Very, very close to deleting my character. But then I started looking it up, and then there was one random thread where somebody said turn off the sound, another thread where somebody said turn down the graphics. I finally did both of those things, and it worked. So I was like, I need to put out a PSA, because I know Max was also having a few of his characters stuck. So I made the video to hopefully help out some other people. This guy is still here, but the other guy that was here is no longer here. Abami, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Maybe we can skip this guy. Let's see. Actually, he doesn't have it anymore, but I think we can skip him. Yeah, we can. Alright, is everybody here? Everybody's here. So this guy, we need to kill all 3 totems within like 20, 30 seconds of each other. I think 30 seconds. Make sure to have taunt up on your pet to help this poor warrior out. Oh man. Help a poor warrior out. Come on, guys. Okay, so we need to kill all the totems at around the same pace. I need to stay on the boss to do interrupts when he does Noxious Stench. So I'm just going to try to generate rage, keep Ignore Pain up. I'm going to try to not use Shield Block, because Shield Block is a very big cooldown, or is very efficient at dealing with damage. So since I'm generating good rage from like charging and stuff, I'm going to try to avoid using it. Save those charges for when he goes active, because when he goes active, he's going to destroy me. You see this? It's got a cast time. It's able to heal back up because this one wasn't down. They all need to go down at the same time. It's kind of like the mini bosses before Odin in Trial of Valor. That's what happens with these totems. So I don't think it's going to happen right now. The glitched honor guards are like anti-warriors, unkillable. Guys, just saw your Ignore Pain video. Feels bad, man. I know. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Not a very good change for us right now. Reanimate is about to go off. Yeah, those totems are just going to stay up right now. They all need to go down together. It's not happening. This one's at full HP. This one's at full HP. That one's just about dead. We need to split DPS. Pretty sure we're just going to wipe on this. You guys are taking too many jabs at me. I'm going to delete my warrior. You guys are punking me. You guys are bullying me, and I have no defensives to be able to deal with this. Just none. Yeah, we're all healer's just gonna run out of mana eventually. There's one totem that has a ton of HP. Which one is it? This one back here? Oh, we might be okay now. We might be okay. You live and you learn. I think we learned. Nice. Nice, we did it. Alright. So now it's time to just start rotating cooldowns, because this guy is just gonna beat me up. Ignore Pain! The new Ignore Pain! Nice! Avatar! Ignore Pain! Ignore pain goes away in 3 seconds. Oh, I think that one was 4. Alright, new ignore pain again. Now I need to build enough rage for my shield block. Alright, we did it, guys. We were able to kill this boss. This is one of the harder bosses too. Perfect. No gear. Alright, so the best way to go back is to go through here, kill these guys, because if we kill these guys down here, I believe the gate opens up here and to the other one, so we can skip a lot of trash. Let me target the shield bearer because he can... Oof, I'm dying. I'm dying. Why is your team standing in the AoE? Yeah, not everybody knows all the mechanics yet. I'm just gonna give everyone the benefit of the doubt and say that they don't know the mechanics yet. Although it's one of those like don't stand in fire things, but hey, you know, maybe they just maybe this is their first expansion back. Too bad warriors don't have a defensive called ignored feelings. It's true. But the thing is, warriors don't have intellect, so I can't understand any of your insults. So I have no idea. All these jokes that you guys are saying just right over my head. Intel 0. And I need to interrupt this guy when he starts trying to cast his AoE fear. There it is. Perfect. Can't stop the jabs or in-game chat. Oh man, all the groups. Every time I join a group, they're like, "Prot warrior, really? You're doing this on purpose? You're just being a troll, right? On the beta? Okay." And it's like, no, I really like playing a prot warrior. I play a really good prot warrior in live, and they're like, "Good prot warrior? No, stop. This is not a thing." You're on the same boat, and this is the, and this shit is the Titanic right now. Is the iceberg Ian? Is that what it is? Ian is just like scraping right up against our boat. Oh, we got one guy. He's gonna try to fear. Okay, as long as somebody's targeting him. Come on. Okay, I got him. Just gotta interrupt. Come here. Okay, there we go. IP is on cooldown only after being up for 1 second. Yeah, it might as well be. The global cooldown might as well be the actual cooldown for IP, because that's about how long it lasts. Like I said earlier, it's about 8% of my HP is what you get with Ignore Pain right now. And the argument of, hey, but it's gonna scale up, so is damage taken. So if we're like, hey, Ignore Pain, it's gonna scale up because it scales from your attack power. Well, every single tier, there's gonna be more and more damage taken. So as much as my Ignore Pain is gonna scale up, so is all of the sources of damage. So it should all scale up linearly. It should feel as good now as it does in the 3rd or 4th tier of BfA. That's my feelings on it, like scaling. Smash your helm visage into the jokes, you'll get them. Me warrior hit enemies with axe. Me warrior. Oof, our healer's getting... How did our healer not die? He just ran through all of the fire. That healer is hardcore. That healer should be tanking. Why am I can't run through the fire and live. What's up, New Era? How you doing, man? Oh, New Zera? Oh, New Year, new me. I get it. What's up, Era? Let's pull this one over here. Does this even... Oh, it does do damage. I was like, this doesn't do damage, does it? 1,000. Ian Hasenberg, PogChamp. Oh, man. Ian is the center of memes for my life right now. Why is the priestess this close? When did they change the location of the priestess? Oh no. Oh no. When and why? These dungeons, they changed the location of her. When is she going to... Is she casting it now? Is that what it is? Yep. Yeah, that's a wipe. You can blame the tank on that one. I mean, I'm trying to stay alive. I'm trying to. This Spirit of Gold is eating up all our pools of blood. That's not good. Alright, we somehow made it out alive. Thanks to Ignore Pain, we have made it out alive. This Spirit of Gold keeps eating our blood pools, and we're going to need those right now. Boss is going to heal back up. We need to kill this ad. You were joking about IP being overpowered 20 minutes ago? God, it was just because of Ignore Pain. It wasn't because my healer was putting out like 10,000 healing per second. Shield block to regular abilities. Change Ignore Pain to Ignore Magic only and buff it a little. Now warriors can choose what they want when they need it. But there's a lot of pulls that have both. What do you do when there's a pull that has 2 casters and 3 melee guys in it? Come on, guys. We need to nuke these guys. Come on, come on, come on. Let me go over here. Pick this up. Nobody's picking up the puddles. We had a few puddles. We had an extra puddle there. It's weird. There's no sound effects to this fight. Have you guys noticed this? She has no sound effects. This is the weirdest thing ever. It's just like background music to fighting her. And the background music goes with the theme of everything. Let me pick this up for the transfusion. Okay. This Spirit of Gold needs to go away. We're not killing these ads fast enough. I'm trying to like throw out my stuns on the Spirit of Gold and doing the things, but we need more deeps. We need more deeps. Come on. Perfect. Less healing from the boss. But still at least some magic mitigation. Yeah, they also they nerfed Spell Reflect a lot. So Spell Reflect used to do 50% of damage, of magic damage incoming for like the next, 3-4 seconds or whatever. Spell Reflect now does 15%. So a 35% change and nerf to how much magic mitigation Spell Reflect does. Still on the same cooldown. Everything else is the same. But 35% less magic damage mitigated. Look, I'm barfing all over this boss. Oh man, this has been an uphill struggle. Let's see, where's the next ad? The next ad I believe is going to go right, yeah. Alright, we need to kill the priestess. There it is. That was not the right way of doing it. Don't do it that way, guys. How does it feel back having Ignore Pain? It's a very, very, very nerfed version of Ignore Pain, so it still doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel how it should. On a more serious note, how would you like warrior damage mitigation to work if you could design it? Would you feel best for class fantasy? The most natural? The most natural would, for me, or at least the way I think, is kind of like how bolster works. If there was a way we could do, imagine like frenzied regen eats your rage and heals you for the amount of rage that it eats, right? If there was a way we could do that with armor percentage, that'd be great. So we go in, we run in, we start generating all sorts of rage. We click one button, and over the course of the next 6 or 7 seconds, our character eats all of his rage and just becomes like a hulking avatar, a hulking monster of himself, where our armor goes way up, and at that point we become very good physical damage mitigators. In terms of magic damage mitigation, as long as they still kept our old spell reflect, it was enough. Our old spell reflect in conjunction with something like demoralizing shout, stuff like that, it was enough. You could find a way. You could find workarounds. This is a wipe. That was 2 ads getting to the boss immediately. That's very much a wipe. So yeah, if it was up to me, we would have an ability that would be kind of like bolster and frenzied regen put into one, and what it would really do is it would increase all of our armor and our block value, just everything that is physical. Like, we carry a shield, we wear heavy plate armor, all of that is on purpose. So if we could eat all of our rage and contribute it in that way, even if it means we start mitigating 70 or 80% of the physical damage that's coming our way, that's okay. The fight made it official. Ignore pain is OP. It needs to get nerfed. Yes. That itself was like, that was too much. No. If you accidentally pull all that together and you're overgeared, you shouldn't kill it just because you're overgeared. Get out of here. So yeah, if I had my say, it would be off of the global cooldown as well. If it was up to me, we would have 2 global cooldowns, 2 different ones. One for offense, one for defense. Because right now warriors don't have those abilities like demon hunters have soul cleave and spirit bomb. It's a defensive ability that gives them either leech or it gives them healing, but it also does offensive things by doing damage. Warriors don't have the ability to do damage and be defensive at the same time. So for warriors, it would be more of having 2 separate global cooldowns. One for purely defensive abilities, one for purely offensive abilities. I'm okay if shield block and ignore pain and bolster share the same global cooldown, as long as it's also not shared with my offensive abilities, because then it feels punishing. So yeah, that's how I think it could also fit into class fantasy, right? Where these giant hulking things full of anger, the more we battle, the angrier we get. So the more we battle, the frenzied regen, we would also be able to use it in different moments. Like, let's say you only have 20 rage, you can still use it. You won't get that much use out of it. It could have a cooldown. So that's like a brand new suggestion. But normally when I give these suggestions to the devs, I give them things that are already in the game, so it's not like, hey, let's implement a whole brand new thing. I also think the paladin ability to be able to block spells should be baseline for everybody with a shield. So for prot warriors and for prot paladins, you should be able to block spells. If this was, you know, if we're trying to go with the realistic sense, raising your shield up to stop a fireball from hitting you as hard sounds like you should be able to do it. There's going to be another wipe here. He's already got 2 stacks, and the third guy is going to reach him soon. Oh, no, there it is.
You have made a fine sacrifice.
But yeah, there's plenty of ways that they can fix warriors with what's in the game now. Everybody's saying that they're not allowed to stack up, but they should be stacking up. Alright, let's go. They want me to clear this path too, to go to the boss, which is fine. What would you guys think fits with the warrior fantasy the best, by the way, in terms of how to fix protection warriors? Because we're supposed to be those plate wearers, shield wearers. That's what makes us different than, say, Death Knights. Because Death Knights are plate wearers, but they don't have a shield. So, what would you guys want to see in terms of prot warriors? Oh, I think my yeah, that's weird. My chat isn't refreshing. Okay. Sort of a protection berserking that allows you to withstand damage instead of dealing it like Fury. Nice. Yes. Wait, why, Admiral? Why are you dead? You might be inclined to play Prot Warrior if they have Gladiator Stance again. That would be cool. Gladiator Stance would be nice. Oh, man. My gear is breaking. Alright, hold on. Let me close my chat and relaunch it. See if it reconnects. Alright. Hopefully that works. Alright. I'm at half health. Where's my healer? Hey, healer. Healer, heal me. Should I eat a Warlock cookie? Where's my Warlock cookie? All these bags are full of gear for all this testing. Get out of here. Alright, so they're all gonna stack. There they are, stacking. They said they weren't gonna stack. Decided to stack. And then whoever is hitting the boss should stop. Okay, there it is. Oh, we still got one of the ads on here. Here we go. We're gonna have another ad. Perfect. There's the next Soul Rend, which should be everybody stacking up. Oh, we got one guy who's like off in a corner somewhere. Let me get the hell out of here. The bad part is the boss doesn't immediately follow me because the boss is like busy doing all these casts and stuff. There was two of the debuffs there. That's gonna be a wipe. Everybody died. Alright, I don't think this is going to happen. Everything's broken too. If anybody has a repair mount, let's see. Spartan Phalanx from 300. What? 50 to 60% DPS reduction, frontal damage, X amount of time, 40 rage. You can dream. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. You just kind of like hold your shield out in front of you. Alright, nobody has a repair mount. I gotta go repair. You hold your shield out in front of you and you like just constantly block everything that's happening in front of you. Paladins have something similar. Paladins have a talent point, which I forget what it's called. But paladins have a talent point where they channel something and like a triangle is formed behind them, and everybody who stands behind them, they lower the damage they take by 20%. I honestly forget what the talent point is called. It looks super cool. It looks very heroic, and it looks like you're a tank. Like you're a tank of the people. Like you're protecting everybody who's there with you, which is your role as a tank. So something like that would be cool too, where you can just kind of like slam your shield in the ground, stand behind it. These are all like new ideas that they'd have to learn how to implement them. But yeah, I think there's definitely enough things within the game for them to be able to fix things. But yeah, these new things. In fact, even Neltharion's Fury. Neltharion's Fury was a very good ability because it gave offense and defense. Whenever you ran into a group of mobs that one of your DPSers pulled way too early, you would pop Neltharion's Fury. It would pick up all the mobs by throwing out really fast ticking fire, and it also did critical block on everything, guaranteed critical blocks on everything. So it was good for AoE threat, damage, and for survival. So abilities like that offer a little of both are what makes tanking classes strong, and I think Prot Warriors are the one class that's really lacking it. Those ads move fast for the damage they'll end up doing. Yes, they do. Where's the repair guy? Here he is. Sell. Okay. Alright, let's jump back in. Like the Halls of Valor Aegis during the second boss fight as well. New class, Shielder. Fights nothing but with a shield as a main can. You know what? I wouldn't mind it. Like if there was if they added a different spec of warriors and you could only wield one shield or even just two shields, that might be an interesting spec because you would be able to be defensive and offensive. Like we already have two offensive builds of a warrior, so if they wanted to do this is now going to be the offensive one. Fury is going to be the new offensive warriors. That's it. Then we have prot warriors, which are defensive. And then we're going to have this third build. Okay, so they want me to tank here, and everybody's going to run here. Alright, let's see how that works. So if they wanted to do a third build of warriors where it's like you guys, you're offensive and defensive, kind of like more for questing, solo PvP, where you have 2 shields and you're just kind of like being a gladiator, that'd be cool. I would not be opposed to hybrid specs like that. Alright, so there they are, beating up all the ads. Perfect. They killed all the ads without me moving the boss. Nice. Let me do ignore pain. Let me put my shield block up. I need to change my weak aura of shield block because it's set to 40 rage. But they put shield block down to 30, so that's a good thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We've got a lot of ads incoming. Oof, here it is. 2 hits. 1, 2. We've got a third one over there. Oh no. There it is. Healer's dead. Ads are coming in. Third tick. Yeah, this isn't gonna happen. Dual wield shield nerds. Let's go crazy. Yeah. You could do like the whole gladiator thing, where you have a shield and a pole arm, and just kind of like poke people slowly, and then they die. We'll give it one more shot. Can the ads be snared trapped? They can't. They can be CC'd. The ads are undead, so you can do. You saw the priest one of the times do shackle undead, so you can do shackle undead. I don't think you can control undead. Banish only works for elementals. It doesn't work for undead. So you can't banish. You can't charm with a warlock. So yeah, whatever you can do to undeads, you can do it here. Monk paralyzed does work. I can't fear them. It's not a thing. Alright. Battle cry. Let's do this. Alright, there's the warlock portal for them. Oof, perfect. Alright, now they just need to take care of those ads. Alright, those ads are slowly dying. One of them's getting close. One of them's getting close. Okay, he died. Alright, there's the new soul run going out right now. So there it is. We've got one CC'd by the monk, and then the monk stopped doing damage. Why? Why? The monk needs to... Oh, no. So when the monk CC's his own, he just stops doing damage to the ads. Come on. Perfect. So we've got a shackle undead and a monk paralysis back there. This instance, by the way, has a ton of issues with the audio. Alright, so we're going to get a bunch of ads again. Probably they're going to get through somehow. Come on. Oh! Oh, no! They're all, like, jumping on all the DPSers. Did it die? The ad died right before it reached us. Oh, Jabus. Alright, I need to move. Oh no, actually one of the ads did go through. We have one debuff. There it is. Everybody was dead. Alright guys. This is not gonna happen. Back in the days when someone told you to kick rocks, it was a way for them telling you to get away. Now you need to kick bombs at bosses. Yes. Yes you do. Alright, this isn't gonna happen. Guys, that does it for today's live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the new prot warriors. They leave a lot to be desired, honestly. And the new ignore pain is just still not still not there. It still has some feedback left to go. So if you guys do want Prot Warriors to get back to any kind of semblance or glory, now is the time to do it. We have 2 months left before BfA goes live. So if you guys have suggestions, make sure to tweet them at the developers. Forum posts also help, or if you guys just want to share the video around, I tweet all those videos at the developers and I tweet all my suggestions at them. So any which way that we can get feedback to them is you know, one better way that we can try to make warriors. So guys, that is going to do it for today's live stream. I will see you guys on Friday with more beta stuff. It might be a different tank, since unless they completely change warriors again. If they overhaul warriors again, we're going to do another deep look. Make sure I send Ian 65 messages per day like some scorned lover. I've been sending him like 1, maybe 2 a day. Maybe I'll step it up. Maybe I just have to really step it up. I sent him like the video I made of him with the Monty Python one. I sent him a few messages yesterday, or a few tweets at him yesterday. So yeah, make sure you guys are making your feedback known, whether it's for Prot Warriors or any class that you play. Because if they don't play, if you feel like you have to change mains and you're going to quit your class, you need to be providing feedback, because that's not the way it should be. Alright guys, I will see you all on Friday. Ignore pain, it's still not there. Yeah, it's lacking a lot. I did put up that video if you guys want to know my ignore pain feelings in a much more concise video. I believe it's like 5.5 minutes. It should be less than 6 minutes. So I'll see you guys on Friday. More BfA, more testing stuff, more feedback. See you guys then. Oh, also patrons. Patrons and sponsors, if you guys are a patron and a sponsor and you guys have joined the community Discord and you guys don't have access to the special patron and sponsor corner, let me know. I will give you guys permission to that. There is a patron video up, so you guys can take a look at that. It explains everything about Azurite armor, everything it is not, what it does, what it's lacking, what it could be changed into, what I feel about it. So yeah, take a look at that if you guys are there. And to all these sponsors and patrons, shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for keeping the lights going. All right, see you guys on Friday.